Essentially, yeah.
Amazing.
I would say the definition of natural science is the study of the natural world through observation and experiment.
Right. You got
Right?
it.
Are you happy with that?
Yeah. Because that's the definition.
Okay. Can you give me maybe 3 things that you know to be true about the natural world as a result of a natural experiment? Then the 3 things may not include water boils at 100 degrees centigrade. Away you go.
I can get you a simple one. Natural science. I observe trees, right? Their seeds can replant another tree. That's a cause and effect. Dirt it will help, and it will cause the tree to grow, and the effect will be a tree.
So a tree is caused by a seed. Is
Yep.
that what the cause of a tree is a seed?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Is the cause of the seed a tree?
Is the cause of a seed the tree?
Yeah.
Yes. Another tree, maybe, depending on the tree. But yeah.
So the cause is the effect.
Yes.
I have a seed in my
And the
garage.
effect is the cause.
Sure.
Okay. Have
Jim,
you isolated a cause and effect then? I don't know whether you have.
Isolated a cause and effect.
Is this an experiment that you've conducted then?
Planting seeds? Yeah, I mean, I put
Yeah.
them in. I remember when I was in science class when I was young, we used to put seeds in toilet paper and watch them grow with water.
Okay. What
Well,
was your
you gotta
independent variable?
You have your independent variable. You have to have water first, I would assume.
Oh, so the
hold
cause
on.
of
Did
the
the
tree
water
is-
cause the tree then?
The water caused the seed to grow.
Oh, so did the seed cause the tree, or did the water cause the
Well,
tree?
the seed is another variable. Sure, they're all variables together, right?
Well,
I don't know.
yeah, but you're isolating cause and effect, dude. Don't
Yeah.
not independent variables. So, so was the water? You're really bad at this argument. Like,
Yeah,
is
you
it the
should avoid
water that
this
caused
one,
the
dude.
tree, or
The
is
water,
it the
yes.
seed?
The water.
Or you could watch
So
more
water
Quantum
causes
Eraser
tree.
videos too.
So you're just
Yeah, I do.
contradicting
I like
yourself
Quantum
now.
Razor because he'd be smacking some people with stuff.
No, he doesn't.
No, but really, seriously, is that why you like him? Because he's kind of rude to people, and he tells them how stupid they are, and
Right.
you know.
Are you guys hypocrites?
No, I'm just asking you why you like him. I'm not saying we don't do that. I
Well,
do that
that's
all
his
the time.
character. That's his character. I just appreciate the
Oh,
information
his
that he comes with.
character.
All right.
So he just
That's him.
But
He's
why do you
strong.
believe his information? Why do you think he's a person who should be believed?
Well, because the citations that he pulls up, I go look at.
All right. Really?
Have you?
I
Okay, so
wonder if you
really,
do.
yeah.
You
I
guys
think
Because
pull up
you're
usually
lying right
most
now
of his
because
citations refute him. If you read, the odd paragraph or two, you soon find out that it's not true. It's the person is saying actually the opposite to what he said they're saying, or maybe not the opposite. But
Do you have proof on that one? I would like to know that.
Oh
Yeah,
my
lots
God,
of
there's so many.
proof of that.
Yeah, there's about 100 videos of literally the paragraph before and the paragraph after that completely contradicts what Quantum Eraser said.
Yeah, I've actually got a video on this that covers some of this.
Really? Can I get that? I'd appreciate it.
Cherry picking out of context, man.
Remind me in 5 minutes. I'm just in a game.
I got a question. Is this cherry picking? Say a preacher is in his own church. A lot of preachers don't like when regular people just come up and correct them, right? But you go they're telling you there's unclean meat, you can't eat meat this, meat that. And is it cherry picking that I show him there's a verse that there is clean meat? So I correct him. Is that cherry picking?
No. It would be cherry picking if there was a verse that tells you that there is clean meat, and there were 10 verses that said there isn't clean meat, and you didn't mention those 10 verses, you only mentioned the one that says there is clean meat, then that would be cherry picking. You should thank you, Quantum. That's kind of you. What you would do if you weren't cherry picking, you would say there are these other references that say this, but I'm disregarding them for these reasons, whatever those reasons may be.
Well, that's just fucking reasonable. Knock it off.
Yeah.
By the way, Blue Marble Science actually also has a video on Quantum Racer and his cherry picking, and actually the paragraph after Quantum Racer's citation absolutely refutes him.
Cherry picking would be like going into the Bible saying that the Bible is a book about how to murder people, when the overarching point is not to murder people.
Right. Right.
Bible says, sacrifice your children.
You ever hear the theory that Mario is actually the bad guy and Bowser is the good guy? Because everyone's on Bowser's side. And Mario's the dick that comes in and kicks everyone's ass.
Well, we could actually take that theory and we could probably ask the programmer.
They kidnapped the princess. That's why Mario's got to go save her. You know?
Can't
That's
have
what they
a
would-
bad guy saving a princess, can you? That doesn't work.
Yeah, but what did they do for him to want to kidnap the princess? Never killed the princess, but kidnapped her.
Maybe a bad plumbing job.
Ha!
Yeah, like one of those builders who hasn't been paid.
Those are good videos.
Jim Panda, hey, I heard about you. You have a server. I've never been there, but have you ever debated QE?
You have been there. You're in it now.
He's in her server.
Oh, this is it? Debate Flat Earth?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is his fucking server.
I thought it was
And-
I thought it was called just Jim Panda. I didn't know that. My bad.
Yeah. But yeah, just about every
Actually,
person
a
in
lot
this
of people-
room.
Well, it's always, the flatties always tend to refer to it as Gem Panda's server, so it doesn't surprise me that a lot of people don't actually know the name of it.
Right. Well, it's not just flat earthers. It depends on one's character. Shape of the Earth has nothing to do with that.
So back to your question, has he ever debated QE? Well, I don't think anybody really debates QE because
Right.
what you're doing
I
there
haven't-
is listening to a raving, screaming lunatic.
Not
Yeah, I've
always. I don't always
interacted with him a few times, but you wouldn't call it a debate.
He had a debate with somebody else. He didn't rave and scream.
Dude, he doesn't have fucking
Yes, he
debates.
does. He always
He
does.
actually doesn't.
He's never ever had a debate where he hasn't raved and screamed.
Or even a conversation. I wouldn't call
Yeah.
any of this shit that goes on a debate.
Interesting. So I
But
If you could
literally-
show that debate, I'd love to see it, but I've never
Yeah.
seen him do that.
And that's saying it's
And-
impossible.
and just about every person in here that's been around for at least 3 years has actually had a conversation with Quantum Racer. Yeah.
Well, I've been shouted at by him.
Or shouted. Yeah, shouted.
I said
Have I?
gravity was the container of Earth, right, for gas pressure. That's why we have a gradient. Was gravity? And
Dude, there's
he screamed at me.
atmospheric pressure.
He then screamed at me for about 15 minutes and then had me
Wait.
kicked out.
You think gravity is what holds gases down?
Yeah, it's demonstrable too.
Yeah.
Oh shit, Sherlock. Yes, every glober.
That's what the experiments show me. Yes.
Every glober in here will tell
Really?
you that. Yes.
So
every
if I
single one.
get a helium balloon, it rises. That's
Okay.
because of
Oh
gravity.
my fucking god,
Done.
dude.
Yes,
Yeah,
actually, it is because of gravity. It's called buoyancy.
John Dungio, do you
That's
want to talk about helium
buoyancy.
balloons for a minute?
I thought. Wait a minute. I thought buoyancy.
Dungio. I have a line of questioning for buoyancy that I want to ask you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, do you believe in Newton's second law?
Yeah, cause and effect.
No, wait.
Oh my-
Do you know what the Newton's
Oh,
laws
second
of
law
motion
of thermodynamics. My
No,
bad.
no. Newton's second law.
Relativity.
Newton's second law.
I don't know.
Do you know?
Help
He
him
doesn't
out.
know.
Come on. Second
It's
law
not
of
helping.
motion.
Have you ever heard the phrase force equals mass times acceleration?
We're talking science here, man.
Mass
Natural science.
What's his third law? If he equals MA.
No, apparently he doesn't know what it is. He doesn't know about it. So can we move on instead of hammering this like a fucking dead horse?
If he wants to talk about buoyancy and he doesn't know what Newton's second law is, then there's no point in talking
Right.
to him.
Right. Exactly.
Right. So I thought buoyancy is when something's in midair and it's buoyant. It's stationary.
No, dude. The
Oh, that's not
buoyant
what
force
buoyancy means?
formula. That's how they ships are able to float. Why there's 100 ton of steel able to float on water. The buoyant force
Yes.
formula doesn't deal only with air, but it deals with
Something that's
any
buoyant.
fluid.
Yeah. Right.
No,
So-
fluids.
right. Okay. Right. Okay.
Every object in existence that's on the Earth is affected by buoyancy. Every single object on Earth.
Okay.
Not just
right.
helium balloons, not just boats. Every object. Anything that
Yeah.
has volume.
There's an easy way to think about this to see how gravity is definitely working on both things. Because when you think about you can think about an empty pool. That pool is empty, and then you throw a basketball into the empty pool. The basketball is going to be compelled downwards due to the same force that we're talking about gravity. And then you fill the pool with water, which is going to be acting downward due to the force of gravity. And the basketball, when you fill the pool with water, is going to be displaced by the water because it has less density. So it's going to ride. It's going to be displaced by the water and sit on top of the water. But at the end of this, the basketball and the water are both still compelled downwards due to the same force.
Okay. So back to gases. Rising. Do you control the variable of static charge?
What are you talking about?
Oh,
Does
yes,
gases have
nothing to do
static
with
charge?
They can.
What?
Do they have a static charge?
They
and how do
can.
you?
They
They
can.
can.
Sometimes
can.
they don't.
Sometimes they don't. Do you have an experiment where you can control the variable of a static charge of gases
Absolutely.
rising?
Yep.
Of them rising.
Why are they rising?
Relative density to they're lighter than the air that
What
surrounds
causes
it.
relative density to cause things to go up?
Lighter
Why?
than the medium that surrounds
What
it.
causes them to go up instead of sideways or down or fucking at a horizontal? Like,
Any direction ever?
Yeah.
Other than up.
Electrostatics?
no.
No.
False.
Okay.
No.
No. Okay.
Whoa, no
Do
is
you have
not a fun
any
answer.
experiments? Do you have any experiments that supports your idea about
Yes.
Electrostatics?
Yes.
Do I have an experiment? No, I don't have an experiment. Do you?
Oh,
Well, why are you claiming it?
oh you're claiming
Electrostatics,
it,
because
not me.
we're in an electromagnetic field in this world.
Whoa, back up. Why are
elec-
you claiming electrostatics are causing it to rise?
Because they have a static charge. Do they have a static charge?
You're
No,
not
they
telling
don't.
me an answer.
Are you asking us or telling us this?
I'm asking you. I'm trying to learn. So
One question, Don
It
Gio.
sounds
Do
like
you-
you're
do you
telling
know-
us like you know.
I was like, one question, Don Gio. Do you know what sea lioning is?
do I know what? Is this like an ego thing on like who knows more
Do you
than
know
what to try to be on top of
No.
somebody?
Absolutely not.
'Cause I don't have no. I
No.
don't have no. I don't have no ego.
I'm trying. No, you no. Do you know what sea lioning?
No, he
is?
doesn't know what it is. Tell him what it is.
it's right what you are doing right now. So you do know what it is. I doubt that you don't know, right?
Okay, that's all right.
He's doing it right now, and none of. And I'm just in the middle of a sentence. Great that someone interrupts me. And you're doing it right now, and you guys don't notice that, right?
Oh, we notice.
We notice. Ask us if right now we give a fuck.
Right.
Because it's actually kind of entertaining.
Right. It really is. It's amazing.
Right, what is it about Don
It's a
Tio's-
dishonest. It's a dishonest tactics.
Dishonest.
We know.
Now
we've been through
everybody
sea
knows
lining.
what it is now, right?
Uh-huh.
Except no one who didn't know what sea lining was before knows now. They don't know anything more about it.
I was kind of curious in the conversation before the sea lining conversation. Can we get on with that one?
Go ahead.
Electrostatics, Geo, go.
Probably for the best.
Wow. What a
Give us your ego-fueled explanation, please, why you're telling us we're wrong and you're right. And that means you don't ask us questions about things that you don't understand then as part of your explanation for why you're correct.
Do you have an example of an electrostatic atmosphere changing the direction of something? Like if I make the atmosphere negative charge or positive charge, does that change buoyancy?
I mean, please, with all due respect, Don Ego, was it not you that claimed it was electrostatics?
And I guess somebody would have to show us that being an effect of electrostatics.
Oh, come on, Donnie.
He went on mute.
No, I'm paying attention to my son. Somebody told me that gases in here just not too long ago that gases can have static charge, right? So I was just going off that.
No, you weren't going
how
off
is
that.
that?
You claimed it,
Wait,
and you
wait,
were
wait,
like,
wait. Oh my
that isn't
God,
what
never
was
mind.
said. Well, you're not going to represent that person disingenuously and think I will keep my mouth shut. You claimed
he's
it and
gone.
then asked. You claimed it and asked.
He left. He left.
He
Oh,
left.
did he? Yeah.
Boy. Would chased him off.
That's all right. That's fine.
Sea
but
linings. Sea lining at
I can't-
its
I can't-
best, and you are just playing along with it and not calling him out for
Yes,
that.
because it's actually a little bit fun sometimes to be able to call somebody out. Let them fucking go, and then smack them with a few things, and then call them the fuck out. Yes, it's fun sometimes.
He would
It's
have
another
ended
kind
up asking. He would have ended up asking, "What's up? What's left? What's right? And what's that? And what is blue? And what is orange? And is that? And where am I?" I'm sorry, but I don't know. But this is weird.
I mean,
Because
most of
it's
us
fun to
in the
chew on 'em a little
server,
bit.
most of us in the server, like, know the tactic, right? The reason why we're
Mhm.
doing it isn't because we don't know. We're not being duped by it. We're not, like, we understand what's going on. It's just an exercise in entertainment, really. But now
It's
he's
Sunday afternoon. Yeah, it's Sunday afternoon, and I got a 4.5 hour fucking drive back to Arizona, and got nothing else to fucking do other than drive. Yep, I can chew on them a little.
I just yeah, it was a bit of a gang up there. Yeah, I do it too.
All right, whose fault is it that when asked why it goes up and he says electrostatics, and then when asked to explain, he starts asking us questions about electrostatics because he doesn't really understand it.
Right.
I mean, how
Well,
is that
yeah.
our fault? You know who I'm talking to, Mr. Calmoo. I have to call him Calmu because I'm never going to say his name again.
Another brilliant student of quantum eraser science who thinks that the second law of Newton is what? Relativity?
Dude, he went through them all, like general relativity and everything but motion.
Next time, someone offer him to talk about quantum mechanics too.
Who's Calmu? Is that chemo?
I can't say.
Shit.
Is that natural density?
Wonder if he's on 24/7. I was thinking he was a Poe. Does anybody know that guy? His voice sounded familiar.
Don Gio, he's a mod at QE server or Nathan server.
He's a reason the
server
there.
Yes, you're right. Thank you.
I'm sorry if I get offended when he starts throwing around allegations about ego and shit like that. When he's the egotistical fucking twat acting like he knows better than everybody else.
Right.
When he obviously he doesn't know, and he even knows he doesn't know, but will still arrogantly put forth, some assertion that this is why something happens that he doesn't know.
He can't even make quantum erasers shit arguments correctly. He's even messing those up.
That's true. He was. That was funny. That's funny. You were that point where you corrected him, like made QE's argument for him. That was funny.
Yeah, that was kind of painful.
It was, wasn't it?
The golden moment was when you said, "And the tree causes the seed."
Right.
Okay.
See, and that's what I was saying. Why we are, there is a particular elite to this. Not everyone can do what we do. Not everyone is able and prepared to, go through the arguments, go through the discussions, and that's pretty much what I was saying earlier on. Is that you guys love it when the new flat earther hasn't fully grasped all of the concepts, the ideas, the arguments. And
I actually have to. Sorry, Kima.
Kind of gauge your victories, on that. When you could have probably got a lot more out of him if Mr. Logo wasn't there parroting what he is. Like, just because he's heard a new phrase, like, oh, sea lion, I'm going to use that one. I mean, the guy, you haven't spoken to him before, you don't know about him, and you just start abusing him at the first moment you get. So
I think we were really
abused. Yeah, we are horrible abusers. We are.
No, you're not. It's just you're just accusing someone of something. You didn't even know what it was. I remember when I first.
What I am accusing someone.
When I first
heard
the word soccer count, I was like, "What is that?" That's the first time I heard it. I was like, "What is it? What do you mean a soccer count?" Soccer count. So when people enter into this environment, you're going to hear terms and phrases that most people will have no idea. They don't read your Urban Dictionary. Not from reading.
Emo.
Nonsense.
He didn't know what Newton's laws were. He has no fucking point in being in the discussion.
Yeah, I mean that's fair enough. That's fair enough. But just to say, he knows. Why not tell him so he knows, and then you can say, "Well, I've just told you. You know the answer. Now you can't pretend that you know." How can you foresight that he knows something because you feel he's not answering how you wanted it? That's just a ridiculous claim to call. Just buzzwords, really. You guys was looking for ways to, attack the flat earther, and you love the buzzwords, you love the new phrases. Hope it.
Newton's laws aren't new.
No, this whole sea lining thing, and that's what threw him off. So he was like, "Am I missing something here? What do you mean sea lining? Is this a competition? He thought you were asking him questions about the globe or something." Like, what on earth? You made him feel embarrassed because he was like, "Well, sea lining, what is that? A scientific phrase?" And made him feel inadequate. And
but he was pretty inadequate. To be fair.
Well, that's it. If he's inadequate, then you try and correct him. Then don't you say, "Well, you try and show it. That was an opportunity."
I did. I helped him out. I gave him an argument.
Yeah. I'm just saying here though with their logo, Mr. Logo.
Argument.
Oh, I've heard of an English word, an English phrase that everyone must be saying. No, we don't use that phrase every day in the streets. Oh, you're sea lining. You're sea lining. No, it's just an internet buzzword. That's just been brought up solely for.
I mean, 3 months ago, I didn't know what it meant.
When I used guys, I was like, "What are you on about? See, what are you talking about? Sea lining? What?" I just ignored it because I thought,
good word, though.
"Here we go again, same nonsense."
Why is this a problem, though, Chemo? Anyone can look it
I'm
up in a
telling you
minute.
the problem. It's not an English thing. Like, when foreigners hear certain words or certain
you could
things,
just Google it, though.
they jump
You can
on it
Google
like,
in a
"Oh,
minute, Chemo. Why is it a problem?
that's a buzzword. That's what they must be using." No,
Why
it's
is not knowing a buzzword that you can Google in a minute a problem?
Yeah, but it's not a word that you thought he would know what it means. Why? That's how uncommon. That's how uncommon the word is. Is that someone who speaks English? It's not your first language, but you know about this buzzword. He doesn't. You're talking to him. Oh, sea lining. He's like,
and
"What you on
I didn't
about?"
make any scene about it like you're making now.
Yeah, but I'm saying he's like, "What you on about?" And you're like, "Well, I've just figured out an internet buzzword, and you should know exactly what it means." It's like, "What are you on about, dude? Just talk normally."
It was because he was doing it.
Talk normally. Talk normally to him and say, "You must be joking. You must know what it is." And he'll say, "No, I don't know what you want about. Explain to me." But again, all you thought was English buzzword, sea lining, sea lining. I'm going to use sea lining. No one uses that word.
Can you ask people to talk to him normally? Can you ask him to also talk normally, but not ending every fucking sentence with "amazing"?
Well, that's how we talk. If someone, and then we understood that he was thinking that he's like, "Oh yeah, wow, sure, I believe that. You're talking nonsense." That's what he's thinking. And then you're just like, "Well, let me look at my Urban Dictionary now today and see what."
Not even an Urban Dictionary. It's a fucking real word.
Let me look at my dictionary there and find out what I can use a buzzword. Like,
Chemo. Sea lining isn't just a fucking. It's not just slang. It's a real thing.
No, well, where is it ever used?
In the
I've
debate
never heard
world?
of it until just recently. Moyuk every 5 minutes. Sea lining. It's like you learn a new word or something.
Are you upset
excited
because
over
you
this
are
new
often
word?
sea lining?
May I offer a perspective as a foreigner into this discussion because I'm
Because
actually
foreigners get
Finnish.
the wrong impression when they hear something like that, and they think, "Well, that's what they
Yeah,
must be saying."
we foreigners, we are so confused by complex English language, like poor foreigners.
No, it's just about how to when to use certain phrases, when to use certain vocabulary. Sea lining is not something you would use in your everyday vernacular, like you just saw. He was like, "What you on about? See, what are you talking about? I'm supposed to know what this is." And you're like, "Oh, you know what it is. You know it is." So anyway,
I personally, as a foreigner, I actually happen to think that it's a very fine term and it's creative use of language.
But
Nothing
it's not
wrong
common.
with it.
Most people will think, "What on earth are you talking about?"
Well, I don't think that we should only use words that are common.
Well, like I said, it's an internet buzzword, and you've only used it because you've heard it online somewhere in some dictionary, and you thought, "Oh, I'm going to use that against somebody somewhere," and it has no effect because it doesn't really mean anything. You know, you can't accuse someone of not knowing something, because all you have to do is tell them the answer, then they know the answer, and then you move forward.
Next time we'll call it
He
key
wasn't
mining.
accused. He was asked, does he know what sea lining is?
And he told you no, so why did you keep repeating it? Exactly. You said, oh, you're sea lining again now, you're sea lining again. What you want about, dude? Just explain.
He wouldn't answer a fucking question.
Yeah, because he's not as clued up at this, so he feels like, I don't want to be caught out. I'm not going to be made to look silly. I'm not answering these quiz questions. That's what he's thinking. And yeah, he's looked, like we were explaining earlier on with Jem. They've looked.
How do you know what he's thinking?
They've looked at some of the flat Earth arguments, and they thought, yeah, I can have a go at that. I can get some of that. Let me have a bit of that. And they find out, you know, when you're actually on the stage, in the big stage, it's not what it is, right? You've got to know your argument, you've got to know your points, you've got to know your opposition. And that's why you don't see vast amounts of the flat earthers that have become flat earthers debating it. Because why would they?
Because they have no facts on their side? How about that?
No, the people are flat earthers, but you can't expect them to know the arguments and start reading off the scientific method and the scientific steps. They don't know this stuff.
He brought that into the conversation, not us.
Oh no! It's kind of it's a little bit his fault. Yeah, but again, you just like you feel like you can when you hear other people do it. It seems so easy. You know, when the QE's doing it, when I'm doing it, when any of the top guys out there are just playing the globe earthers, some of the flat earthers will want a piece of that action. They want to slay.
You're right. I was going to say you're really good at sea lining.
Yeah, you have to lie in order to play flat earthers.
Well, what am I seeing? I know what I'm talking about here. I know everything that I'm talking about.
No, you don't.
I'm not saying you're sea lining right now. I'm just saying, you know, if somebody wants to learn to sea line, they should listen to you.
No, again, there's no need for any pretense here. If you don't know something, then you ask the question, you get the answer, you move forward. But in the terms of what we do, by asking you again and again and again, is because remember, you are the globe defenders. You're not your average everyday person. That means we have an audience. That means they want to hear you provide evidence of your globe.
Can you get me a video?
No evidence of the flat Earth, though, Chemo. What's your best evidence of the flat? Chemo, like yesterday you told me, the day before you told me the best evidence of the flat Earth was 2 globe proofs. So what is your best proof today?
Globe proof? What do you mean globe proof?
Your proof of the flat Earth. You mean your globe proof? You told me yesterday when I asked you the best proofs of the flat Earth. You told me that you can see further when you get higher, which is a globe proof, and that boats disappear from the bottom up, which is also a proof of the globe. So what is it today?
Yeah, but you said you changed it. You said you had to look down the horizon.
Yeah. So you have to look down from the height to see the horizon.
You don't have to look down. You can look straight ahead, and you'll see land.
Incorrect. You're still tilting down about one degree.
No,
but that's another
again,
issue.
you're saying something. You're going against what I'm offering, and what happens.
Because what you're offering is false, but you're misinterpreting what you're saying.
What I'm proposing is that when you look straight forward, you do not look down at any degrees, any amount. You look straight ahead. We'll see land.
Well, you'd see that from the Earth, the globe Earth too. But the fact you see further from higher up is a proof of the globe. Thank you very much for proving it. Now, what's it today, please? Your best globe proof, or your best flat Earth proof? Excuse me, today.
You know, this is what we would call sea lining, but I don't even go there because, again, if he wants to act like this, then again, this is not between me and him.
I don't want you to deny the globe. I'm tired of you denying the globe. I want you to provide me a proof that the Earth is flat. I want you to prove to me, convert me over to flat Earthism, and tell me your best proof of the flat Earth. Go.
Well, we don't have a religion like you guys.
No, you do have a religion, though, because everything you say is improvable.
No, it's not. We don't make claims.
What's your best proof of the flat Earth then, Bon Jovi? Come on.
Well, okay. Prove that the Earth is round. That's my
no. Prove that the Earth is flat. I'm not asking you to.
I'm not making a claim, dude.
Of course not. So then, see,
you guys are saying it's round, and I'm like, okay, how is it round?
You have no proof the Earth is flat. Then, thank you. So you can just shut up for a while.
You don't need to prove a negative claim.
I'm not. No, I'm asking you for the proof that the Earth. If you believe the Earth is flat, what is that proof, please?
I don't believe anything. I'm just asking for evidence for Earth being round. That's it.
No, I'm not asking you to be a globe denier. I'm asking you to be a flat earther now, and I'm asking you for your best proof that the Earth is flat. Convert me over to flat earthism. I want a proof that the Earth is flat.
We
Go.
don't do that. We don't convert people over to flat
You
Earth.
don't prove that the Earth is flat.
Don't change
No, we
people's
ask
minds.
We ask for evidence for round Earth.
Yes.
Oh, so you're globe deniers, not flat earthers.
No, we're just somebody who.
You're globe
didn't
deniers,
have
not
the
flat
Yeah,
earthers.
don't worry
evidence
about us. What we are, all we want is that we were told as kids, we're on a board. Does anyone believe that and can prove it? That's it.
So what's your proof then that the Earth is flat?
Well, in order
What is the
for
proof that the Earth is flat?
Well,
If you deny the globe, you have to. You said supplying it with something, so you're supplying it with the Earth is flat. What is the proof that the Earth is flat? Please go.
okay, so when you establish
know
your
what the shit is.
horizontal, there is no elevation drop at any distance. 1 mile, 2 mile, 3 mile, 4 miles. It continuously
Yeah, but
stays horizontal.
You're confusing horizontal and flat.
What, do you mean flat like a mirror?
I mean, flat as in flat, as in
Like a window is completely
like
flat,
a
yeah?
mirror. Yeah, like a window, or like the floor.
Oh, no. The Earth's not flat like a window or a mirror.
Why not? That's what you say it is.
Why not? Because there's valleys.
I thought you were a flat earther.
There's
I thought
mountains.
the Earth was like a flat plane, like a mirror.
Oh, I get it now. Yes, you were thinking like a mirror. Yes, smooth and flat.
So
yes.
Yeah.
Ah, I get it. No, the Earth's not like that. No, sorry.
How is the Earth then?
So the Earth has hills, it has valleys,
Okay,
it has mountains.
So it's like a pizza then. It's got like pepperonis and sausages.
Yeah, something like that.
yeah.
You've got it. You've got it.
Pineapple.
So it's a pizza.
Yeah, the
Okay.
planets are like the pieces of the food. The planets and the stars. When you look down on it from above.
Is it a stuffed crust pizza or
Well,
thin crust?
I guess that's the ice
Well,
wall.
yeah,
That'd be the
Yeah,
ice
that's
wall.
the ice wall. You're getting it now.
That's
You
what's-
see?
That's what's holding
So
in
you
the
made-
cheese.
So you made a positive claim now. Provide the evidence. For
Oh,
that.
your sea lining. Your sea lining. You know what the claim is. You understand what it is. Your sea lining. Why do you sea
again,
lining?
So the Earth is basically flat then. It has no curvature. It
Why are
has
you
no
sea
spherical
lining,
shape.
huh?
It has, like,
You know
sloped
it has a
hills.
wall. Your
So
sea
again,
lining,
What is the proof?
Mr.
What
Logo,
is the
hmm?
proof of the space
Why are you
pizza?
sea lining, huh? You know that ice
What
has
is
to
the
be
proof of the
there
space
for the
pizza?
water, hmm?
What
You
is the
can't
proof
hear
of
any
the
of you when you're both talking at the same time.
But I want to know
Yeah,
why
it's
Mr.
just the
Logo is
noise
sea
that
lining.
opens
He
a mouth.
knows that the water needs a container with the ice wall. He's sea lining now. He knows about the ice wall.
Okay,
It's doing the demo.
that's not sea lining.
You're
Chemo.
sea lining now. You know there is
I'm
a
sorry,
wall.
It's tough not to talk over chemo. I do apologize. It's tough not to talk over chemo. So chemo, what is the proof then of this space pizza?
The evidence, well,
What's space?
again, we use scientific methods to validate these claims.
Okay, name one, please.
So, in order for the Earth to be, we can hypothesize that, or we can presuppose the Earth is a ball, right?
Okay, the
wait, no,
evidence,
no,
not
stop,
how
stop.
you went through or
Stop,
how
we're
you
not-
go through.
Well, this
testing.
is the evidence.
What
You've
is
got to
the fucking
presuppose.
evidence?
This is the evidence. You've
No,
got
no, no. I didn't ask you to deny the globe. I asked you to prove the flat Earth. That's a difference.
That's
You
what I'm
understand the difference?
doing. You've got to presuppose
No.
those
You start
first.
off with the Earth is a globe. I want you to start off with the Earth is flat.
No, you can't presuppose that.
What do you? What? You can't presuppose.
You
the Earth is
already
flat?
did.
No, because you already see the flat Earth. You've got to presuppose ball.
No, incorrect. You got to prove
No.
flat. Don't disprove ball.
Oh,
prove
you're the
flat.
mirror guy. It's not smooth like a mirror
Don't
now.
disprove. No, I'm the pizza guy now. Remember? You convinced me that it's not a mirror. It's a pizza because there's like pepperonis and sausages and stuff.
Yeah, okay, what about this pizza?
So tell me, how do you prove the space pizza?
Got to eat it a little bit and see how it tastes.
Okay,
Take a chew on it. Take a bite.
Lucky cow, shut up.
I hope the cheese is not overdone or underdone or undercooked.
Okay, well, good. Yeah, I mean, you could do that. No.
Take
So,
a
yeah,
bite
next
of one of the
I mean,
planets.
this
Look,
is-
you're
this is
sea
the,
lining
this
now.
is-
You're sea lining now. You know
sea-
that
I'm
the
not sea
Earth
lining.
is not a ball. You're sea lining now.
Oh, no, I know the Earth is a ball.
You're
I'm asking
sea
you to
lining.
prove that the Earth
Why are
is-
you sea
I'm asking-
lining now, huh?
I'm asking you for proof that the Earth is. I'm asking
You're
for you
sea.
to prove
Look,
that
see,
the
this
Earth
is
is
real
flat.
sea lining now.
Prove
You're
to
sea
me-
lining
Why are you
now. Yes?
demopping?
What is sea
He's
lining?
knocking one out with the table,
He's
isn't
just
he?
messing around. He's sea lining now. He knows the Earth is not a ball. He's just sea lining now.
What is sea lining?
Oh, he's look, double sea lining now. You're sea lining again now. You see, again you're sea lining.
So, hey, Chemo, I'm asking you to prove to me that the Earth is flat.
You're
and you're
sea
failing
lining
to do
now.
so. No, I'm asking you for proof that the Earth is flat.
So you
and
see the
don't
point,
have-
Mr. Logo? Just to randomly go, you're sea lining. You must be sea lining. It's not an argument. There's no point in just saying
the
that.
flat Earth? Chemo.
He's like, what's sea lining? And I'm like, oh, well, you're sea lining now. Like, what are you on about?
Proof of the flat Earth.
Sea lining.
Right, exactly.
Come on, Chemo. Say sea lining like 17 more times, please.
That's what Mr. Logo was like with Don. He was like, "You're sea lining now. You're sea lining."
I don't
Don
give
was like,
a
"What
fuck
you
what
on
he,
about?"
I don't care what he did.
Chemo. Proof of the flat Earth. Go.
Yes. So we need science for the proof.
Okay.
The proof.
Okay.
Yes.
So what we do in this,
So you have a body. So you have a body of information that's indicative of one position above any other.
No. We're gonna go with the the presuppositions. The only way we can do this.
No. So you need a body of information that is repeatable, testable, that is indicative of one position above any other. Go.
Yes. So
I've been waiting like 5 fucking years for this, Chemo. Come on.
Right.
You got it. Today is the day you got it.
Well, let me explain then. So this is how we.
No, give us the evidence. That's all.
Oh my goodness!
That body of information.
So you remember when you guys said there are many methods, You still agree with that? Yeah.
Come on, Chemo. I'm asking you for your best proof the Earth is flat. Go.
No. I'm saying that you agree there are many methods to figure out something. Yeah.
Chemo. Your best
evidence. Go.
Proof that the
5
Earth
years.
is
But I'm
flat.
just establishing that you agree with
Go.
your version of many.
Stop talking about philosophy. Tell me some freaking proof. Go.
I'm gonna. But what I'm asking is that you agree that there are many methods to science. Yeah.
Go. Come on. I'm waiting.
Good. So this is my method, not the QE method or the original Chemo method. It's just now I'm going to make up my method to figure out whether it's
Today,
flat or not. Yeah?
Chemo. It's been 5 years already.
Stop.
Come on.
You're sea lining, Mr. Logo. You're sea lining.
Stop.
So look.
Stop, Chemo. Stop.
Okay. So we're going to
Come on,
presuppose that. Look. So I see flat, but I can't use that as science because that's not science to say I see flat. Okay. So I'm going to presuppose a ball, a globe. I'm going to presuppose.
No. Stop. I didn't ask you to disprove the globe. I asked you to prove.
No,
the
I'm
flat
not
Earth.
talking about your globe. I'm just talking about in general. I'm going to presuppose myself.
No, I don't care about it in general. I ask you for a proof for the flat Earth. Go. Prove to me that the Earth is flat. Tell me the evidence right now. Go.
Okay, so the proof that the Earth is flat is that large bodies of water, cannot curve around the exterior of an object without a force.
It's incorrect, by the way.
Okay, that's a claim. That's not evidence, dude.
No, that is evidence. We can test it. We've got Cavendish.
No,
that's
incorrect. What?
That is we have Cavendish.
What about Cavendish?
You don't have Cavendish shit.
Cavendish,
yes, we tested Cavendish in a vacuum.
You're saying that gravity exists?
No, I'm saying that we tested Cavendish in a vacuum and there was no attraction. Zero.
No, you haven't done that. You're lying.
Well,
now,
I haven't done it exactly myself.
Right. So you can't say we have this, we done this.
By the way,
when you didn't do a goddamn thing
we
ever.
know what we mean when I say we mean we as in mankind. Yeah? All of us.
Cavendish in a vacuum?
Yeah, so what we did, we took Cavendish, we put it in a vacuum. Now, they said there was results, but we never actually saw any results. Now we're waiting on BioJewel to conduct an experiment.
Stop. Cavendish proves the globe, by the way. Thank you. So I'm asking you to prove that the Earth is flat.
You just agreed there are many methods. So now you're changing your mind.
No, I'm not changing my mind. I'm asking you to prove that the Earth is flat. And you started off talking about Cavendish, which is a proof of gravity, which is the globe.
Yeah, because I said that I see flat, but that's not science. I can't just go, I see, therefore it is. I've got to be able to test this.
Proof. Yeah? So you have no proof other than that, right?
Well, we have Cavendish for a start. We have
Cavendish. Wait a minute. Cavendish proves gravity. What does that got to do with the flat Earth, please?
No, that's
not a damn thing. It was a measurement of.
Sorry.
It was a measurement, and the secondary result was able to measure gravity.
Correct.
So you're wrong on that, Chemo. So you don't have
You're not
Cavendish.
listening, are you?
So,
you just don't get. You guys struggle with
Chemo,
arguments.
Wait, no,
yeah?
Chemo, you're struggling. You're struggling. You cannot provide me evidence that the Earth is flat, other than it looks flat.
Look, there are many methods. The method I'm going to use.
Stop with your methods. Just tell me one. Tell me one right now. Stop going with Cavendish, because Cavendish proves gravity.
That's
and
the
the Earth is
experiment. I
round.
need to check if there was a force. If there was no force, then there's no need for the water to.
The force is there. The force has been measured time and time again in high schools, in colleges. All of that shit has been measured. Congratulations.
No, yeah, I know that
you
they
don't have that.
No, yeah.
Told
I
your
know
ass
they
to chair
tried.
right now, but that's a different story. I ask you for proof that the Earth is flat, and you failed to give me.
Oh my
how long-
gosh! Why are you
15
not
minutes?
listening to what I'm
15
saying?
minutes now. For 15 minutes, I've been asking you to prove that the Earth is flat, and you have not come up with a single one yet. Please.
You mean flat like a mirror? Because that's what you're getting.
flat like a mirror, or pizza, whatever you wanted to call it.
No, it's
Flat.
not flat like a mirror. No, there's no evidence or
Come on,
proof.
I need a stuffed crust
Like
pizza.
a wavy mirror.
Chemo.
Then.
No proof
Yeah.
or evidence of
Give
the
me
Earth
stuffed
being
crust.
flat like a mirror. None.
Oh, is it flat like a pizza?
Italian
Little bumps or
sausage,
something?
pepperonis. We need some
not
fucking
flat like a
jalapeno
mirror.
peppers. Like, come on.
So it's flat like a pizza. We agreed on that. Okay, I agree that it's not flat like a mirror. It's not perfectly
No,
flat.
because a
So
pizza's
there are
not
some
flat.
bumps
It's got humps and bumps
there are
on a
some-
pizza.
There are some bumps. I mean, by flat, I mean it's not curved like a sphere.
Pizza's
okay?
not flat, is it? Hey?
Pizza's pretty damn flat.
No, it's not
actually.
flat.
It's pretty freaking flat.
No,
There's
it's
curve
not
to it.
pretty flat.
It's not like a cake. It's not like a It's not like a. I don't know.
Dude,
yeah,
show me a
from
flat
Mexico.
pizza. Let me see a flat pizza.
It's
Show
pretty
me.
freaking flat.
Stop
Pizza's
squawking
flat.
and show me a flat pizza.
Oh, shut up with the flat pizza thing. Now,
It's
prove
called
to
a
me that the Earth is
flatbread.
flat.
Flat
Prove to
bread.
me that the Earth is flat. Come on.
So you can't
Prove
show
to
me a
that the
flat
Earth is
pizza now, yeah?
Pizza's pretty damn flat. It's not curved. It's not like a ball.
It's not a sphere.
It's not a sphere. That's
Got
correct.
curved edges on
It's
the
flat.
There you
pizza.
It's
But
round.
Pizza's
it's not-
got curved
it's not
edges.
It's not spherical.
It's
Um,
got
you're-
curved
We don't
edges.
know if the
You're
Earth is
deflecting.
round. We don't know
You're
if it's
deflecting.
square.
The pizza's got curvature
You're
on it.
deflecting.
It's got
You're
curvature.
deflecting.
It's got
You're
curvature,
deflecting.
and
I
the
asked
edges
you
got
for
curvature.
I asked you for proof of flat Earth, and you cannot provide me a
Pizza's
single
got
proof of flat Earth.
curvature, dude.
You cannot prove to me a single point of the flat Earth.
Well,
Can
the
you?
proof of the flat Earth is in itself. There is no proof that the Earth is round.
No, I didn't ask you for
No.
denial. I didn't ask you to deny that the Earth is
That's
a
like
globe.
that's
I
like
asked you to
that's
prove
like
to me that
asking.
the Earth is flat.
is flat.
That's like asking somebody to prove God doesn't exist. It's like some silly argument.
No,
No,
it's not. It's you are.
No,
you cannot
they're
argue.
complete.
If you guys can't
completely
prove
different.
God doesn't exist, God is real.
You cannot prove that the Earth.
Same
is-
fucking stupid argument
is
you
not-
guys are
Prove
saying.
me the Earth is
No.
flat. No, so you make a claim. You claim the Earth is flat. Prove to me
And
the
you
Earth is flat. I
and
didn't
Christians
ask you to
claim
deny-
God is real. And
Are
they
you-
and
Carl
they
Joby, are
prove
you
he's
eating?
not real.
Joby.
Whoa.
I'm not even trolling right now. I'm
Hold
not even
on.
trolling right now.
Hold on. Joby, are you eating?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Please don't
Yeah.
eat on the
Okay.
mic like that.
So shut up and just listen to this, because one, you're trying to say.
I didn't mute you, by the way. The mods have
disprove
muted you
the
because you can't do that
supernatural.
stuff.
Kimo, why are you interrupting?
I'm just letting him know. I didn't
You're
mute
asking-
him, but
Oh, I don't give a fuck. Okay, I
You
don't
cannot
care.
prove that the Earth is flat.
So what you're asking for, which these are not the same thing, you're asking, or that would be like asking someone to disprove the supernatural when we can actually take measurements all over the earth to show that those measurements do
Yeah.
indeed provide curvature.
No. Again, so it's not flat like.
I wasn't talking to you, Chemo.
Oh.
I was. His point of prove God doesn't exist is fucking. They're not the same thing.
Oh, can you say that again? I thought I was muted. Say it again.
No, you were muted
Your
because one
point
of the mods were
about-
like you were eating, dude.
Yeah, don't worry. I understand.
You asking someone to disprove something supernatural isn't the same. They're not the same thing. We can provide
but
evidence.
both are positive
Hold on.
claims.
Shush, shush, shush. Shush. I don't give a fuck whether it's a claim or not. We have a body of evidence that is indicative of the Earth being a sphere. There's measurements. All
okay,
right.
then that goes towards your favor. Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay, so it's not the same thing. So it's not like asking someone to disprove.
You don't ask somebody to prove a negative. You ask somebody to prove a positive claim.
See, the thing is, the positive claim that the Earth is flat is the positive claim. So provide a body of information that is indicative of the flat Earth only.
No, but
yes,
it looks flat, but you get evidence.
I don't give a fuck what it looks like.
Dude, I'm just trying to talk to you. I don't need to do all this aggressive shit.
I don't because I don't give a shit about what it looks like because it doesn't.
He's usually a lot worse than that. I'm down quite really actually.
Chemo, I'm still waiting for you.
Hold on, who's eating? I can hear plates and forks and knives and stuff.
Come on, Chemo. Prove that the Earth is flat. Don't prove to me that it's not a globe. Prove to me that it is flat, like you say it is.
But you think like flat like a mirror. It's not like a mirror.
No, it's flat like a pizza.
Nobody said that, Chemo. You're the only one invoking that.
Okay, pizza has curves on it, so no.
No, pizza doesn't have curves on it.
Yes, it does. The crust is curving.
That's the outside, and I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the.
Well, that has curvature.
Drop.
So I can't show you a pizza.
No.
It's not flat.
Okay, well, so
how about so we can go right in the middle of that pizza, let's say Salt Lake.
So your big whole claim here is because the pizza is round, it has curvature. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the topographical pizza part. That's flat.
Oh, you mean horizontal, not vertical?
Yeah. Or either way, it doesn't matter. If it's staying in the center of the pizza, it's basically flat to me. I'm talking about why is your whole proof here is you can't prove anything except argue with me about the shape of a pizza.
You brought up pizza, dude.
Hysterical. Well, because so prove to me that the Earth is flat. Come on, I'm waiting for it. I've waited 20 minutes now, and you have yet to give me one proof that the Earth is flat.
Because I've just discovered you meant like a mirror.
I don't care.
No, he didn't. Nobody said that.
He did. He did originally, but it's not like a mirror. Then he said like a pizza, and then a pizza has.
Whatever.
He didn't say like a mirror.
You're arguing words now. You cannot prove to me that the Earth is flat.
Like what? Like a mirror or like a pizza? Like what?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's not a ball. It's not a sphere.
It's not a ball. You got that right.
Yeah, prove to me unicorns don't exist.
Prove to me that the Earth is flat. Prove to me the Earth is flat.
Go ahead, JB.
Prove to me unicorns don't exist.
We just went through this whole fucking supernatural
Dude, it's an equivalent.
You're claiming that the Earth is flat, though.
No, we're just asking for evidence for Earth curving. That's it.
It's been provided. It's been provided for fucking years. Denial of evidence doesn't mean that it doesn't exist.
You admit you're not a flat earther, you're just a globe denier, then.
No, flat earther means
it's not an argument about the existence of the Earth. That is not in dispute. So these false dichotomies you keep proposing are false.
With me,
you aren't saying there is no Earth and it doesn't exist. You absolutely accept that there is an Earth. And it must, by definition, have some geometric shape.
Yeah,
so
we don't know.
So are you guys saying that since there's evidence for Earth curving, that's no longer a positive claim? That's like a
no. We've supported our positive claim. We've given evidence after evidence after evidence.
I'm saying it's intellectually dishonest to pretend that you don't have a position on this.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that.
And therefore you have nothing to defend. You operate in reality as if you have a position on this.
I'm just trying to understand where you guys are coming from when you're asking about...
Yeah, because what we mean by flat is horizontal and level. So there is no elevation drop from sea level. That's what we mean.
On Joe, both are positive claims. When someone says it's round or when someone says it's flat. Both carry a burden of proof. And so do you.
I have a hard time agreeing with that because, if you're like some retard farmer...
There is one position which does not carry a burden of proof. And if someone says, I don't know what the shape is, that does not carry a burden of proof.
Flat is not a shape, it's a description.
Exactly.
It's a shape. Right?
It's not a shape. That's not a shape,
a debate about the subject.
Come on, chemo. I'm still
No,
25 minutes now.
Like what he's doing now. He's jumping on the word flat like a pancake, like a pizza, like a mirror, and that's just silly. We're not saying that. We're saying it's horizontal from one end to the other. There is no elevation drop at sea level.
What is the proof of this, please?
Okay, prove it.
Right,
There
we've
you
got
go.
Jesse Kozlowski. We've got
25
Rakia, and
minutes
we've
I've
got
been waiting
Bev.
for your proof of this, chemo. 25
Oh, the
minutes I've been
Bolivian
waiting.
salt flats. Bolivian
Please tell
salt
me,
flats.
chemo. I've been waiting 25 minutes for you to tell me the proof.
All
that
right,
the
where's
Earth
Rakia?
is
Rakia's
flat.
not here at the minute, but we've got surveyors. Jesse Kozlowski agrees that it's a horizontal plane after 1 mile, no elevation drop. So that proves the measurement.
Jesse's never said that.
Well,
Jesse's never said that.
When Rakia,
don't lie about that, man.
shows up, we'll give you the details.
I don't give a fuck what Rakia said. Jesse has not said that.
Well, again,
Rakia's
once
a known liar
Rakia
too.
shows up, we'll be able to confirm
Rakia
it.
is a known liar too. Come on.
Rakia has been saying that shit for months, and guess what? People have asked him to provide a fucking citation where he said that.
Yeah, but he's not here right now, is he? So
I don't care, and he still hasn't provided that. So don't say Jesse said X.
yeah, he said Jesse Kozlowski said that they measured the horizontal.
Rakia said that. Rakia said
That's
that.
called hearsay. That's
Yeah,
called hearsay evidence.
Yeah,
Come on, I'm
Rakia
asking
said
for
Jesse
proof.
said
Flat.
they measured.
I don't give a fuck what
Hearsay
Rakia said, chemo.
What is the proof? Come on, almost half an hour now. I've been asking you for one proof
Dude,
that the Earth is
good luck.
flat,
I've been
and
waiting
you've
5
yet to
years.
provide it.
Bolivian salt flats.
They've been measured and they're not flat. Thank you very much.
Prescipular rays.
Say that again.
Corpuscular rays.
No, let him say that.
What the fuck is wrong with you, Shell?
No, I'm eating so.
Dude, you suck the fun out of ice cream, don't you?
I don't like ice cream.
Not you, you dipshit.
But I bet he stuck the fucking golf ball right through a garden hose.
How about if some of us practice not answering questions? We got people here that won't answer a question that's asked of them.
Yeah.
And there's people here that won't shut the fuck up when a question is asked of someone else.
I mean, that happened. But what?
Everybody here is guilty of that.
What? Age Shield guy here is asking for, which is essentially what you guys have been asking for from day one, is a model. You want me to give you the distances, measurements of how far?
That'd be fucking nice.
Yeah, we don't have that. We've been telling you that for a long time. There will be no model.
You should.
Okay, well you suck because shipping lanes actually fucking exist and shipping routes, direct routes from one point to another. We know how far shit is. Guess what? You don't.
So, Paige Shill, you need clues to figure these things out. Put the pieces
Yes,
together.
we have these clues. We have measured them, and we know that it doesn't work on your pizza. Come on.
Yeah, are they blues clues though, Chemo?
Once again, you're proving that the Earth is not round, and not that the Earth is flat.
Not round.
as you
Again,
heard.
you're what do they call this? Freudian slip. You did it twice now. You said it's not a ball, not round. Slipping up all over the place. Again,
Same
that's-
difference, Chemo.
That's
Same
because the
difference,
pressure is
Chemo.
on.
You've yet to provide me one proof of the flat Earth. One proof. Come on.
Well, I mean, again,
it's not curving.
Yes.
One proof. Come on, Bon Jovi. One proof. Come on. One.
You're asking
The
for
lack
a
of
model.
curva-
You
the
want
lack
a
of
model.
curvature is-
No,
Yeah, I want a model. I
we're
want
asking
proof.
you for
No,
evidence.
I want you to prove something. I want you to prove to me that the Earth is flat.
The only way
I
that
want
can
you
be
to
done
prove
is
to
with
me
a model.
that I'm wrong.
The lack of detectable curvature.
Nope, sorry. That's
Shut up,
proving
Joby.
the Earth is not
Fucking mong.
I know what you're asking
You're
me
disproving
for.
the globe
get
and
your
not
own
proving the flat
insults.
Earth.
Hey,
You're
what you're
disproving
asking
the
me
globe
for.
and not proving the flat Earth.
You're asking me for a
Prove the flat Earth.
mathematical equation to explain ships going over the horizon.
Yep.
How the sun works. You're
Yep.
asking me for a model. There is no model.
Yep. There is a
No,
model.
we're
We have
asking
one.
you
don't.
for a body of evidence that's indicative of one position above any other.
Exactly.
I mean,
A
you
body.
said
You
you're
want a model, and we don't have a model.
No, I know we want evidence. We
Very
want.
sneaky there, Paige Shield. But again, The only way
Come
we
on,
can
give it to
know
me.
things is
No,
by
I want evidence. I want evidence. You think the Earth is flat?
Listen,
Please
though.
prove to me that. No, I'll listen. Just give me a proof. It's been a half an hour, over half an hour now, and you have not given me one bit of evidence that the Earth is flat. Not
Okay,
one.
so listen then, let's try again. There are two methods that will correct them. So you can do a direct measurement. You measure your horizontal plane. That's one way. Or if you don't want to do the measurements, it's too big, you can start to science. Now, I understand your version of science. There are many different methods. So, knowing that, you can say,
So
okay,
where's the evidence?
No, because if you know that you're allowed to hypothesize first without the observation, and then you can say, well, I suppose the Earth is a board, and therefore
Stop. I asked for proof that the Earth is flat, not that it's not a ball. Do you understand the difference between these two?
Yeah, because proving one proves the other.
No,
Disproving one disproves
incorrect.
the other, yeah?
I ask you to prove to me that the Earth is flat. Do not disprove that it is a ball. Prove
No,
that
I'm
it
showing you
is
two
flat.
methods to show that the Earth is
Stop.
flat.
No, stop. I asked
Well, then
for
why are you
proof that
talking about the
Earth is
globe the
flat.
whole time?
All you can talk about is the globe. It's not a globe. It's not a globe. It's not a globe. I don't care what it's not. I want to know what it is. You think that the Earth is flat?
Cannot say that.
Prove
I'll
to
tell
me
you
that
why.
the
This is what I like to
Earth
call
is
deductive
flat.
evidence.
I can tell you why you can't say that. Because we observe.
Because it's not flat. That's why you
Cannot
can't say
that.
it.
Cannot say that.
You cannot say the Earth. Yeah, the reason you can't give me a proof is because you have no proof.
No, but you can't say what you're saying. You cannot say I cannot hypothesize about globe because these ships and the sun that appears to make it look like it's a globe. So that's what I can hypothesize about.
Oh, come off it. So your best proof is now the sun makes it appear to be flat, but it's not really flat.
I'm saying that when we look
Come
at
on, I ask you, Chemo, this is a very simple thing.
Yes.
If you believe something, you should have proof. If you can say, I can
Yes, and we have
scientifically
two
believe
methods.
the Earth is flat. I can
I'm
believe
giving
this,
you the two
scientific
methods.
thing-
You're saying no.
No, stop with the two methods, though. You immediately start talking about the globe. I want you to only talk about the flat Earth because the Earth is flat. Prove the Earth is flat.
Well, like
Go.
I said, in that case, you would want the first method, which is direct measurements. And nobody has directly measured from one end
Define
to
direct measurements, please.
like you actually measure it with your hands.
Oh, by getting out there with a big ass tape measure?
Yeah. So
Oh,
other than that,
that's bullshit.
you're not going to
That's
do
total
that.
complete bullshit.
If that's too
And you
much
know
of
it's
a-
complete.
if that's a
You know
big
it's
effort,
bullshit.
yeah, that's
You know
too
it's
much for some
bullshit.
people. That's like impossible.
No, it's bullshit. You know it's bullshit because we've measured it with theodolites and stuff. That's how you measure stuff. You think out there with a tape
No,
measure?
that's
do
the
you-
globe.
Any idea?
That's the globe presupposition method.
Oh,
only.
stop it,
No,
Chemo.
it's not. No, it's not.
You are totally.
These are
you
just
are
tools to make
totally-
measurements
are you
over
a fool
distance.
or an idiot, Chemo?
And if you're going to use
He's a disingenuous.
Yeah, he's a
assclown.
disingenuous idiot because he cannot prove to me that I've asked him for half an hour, over half an hour now.
Bro,
coming
I've
on
been
45
asking for
minutes.
5 years.
The one proof that the Earth is flat, and all you can talk about is how the Earth is not a globe. Now you want to
Well,
get out there
I've
with a
given
big ass
you,
tape measure and physically measure stuff. Are you high?
There are many methods, as you've been told.
Even when they
Okay, well, which method does your proof use, and then present your proof? Don't expound on the methods for half an hour. Just use
He
your
won't let
proof
me
and
get
tell us which
through
method it
Every
uses.
time I start, he's like, no, stop. So I have to stop.
Because you start talking
Because
about
you aren't telling him, you aren't giving him your proof. You're giving him the methods that he could generate the proof if he wanted to.
Yeah, just skip past that and give us your proof, and then we'll figure out which method it uses by you telling us about it.
Okay, so like I've just been saying, for goodness sake, nobody listens here. So I've got the Cavendish. Okay, now Cavendish.
No, that isn't.
Wrong.
That
Cavendish
isn't.
You see, no one's
gravity.
listening. So that's what I'm supposed to do. No one's
Okay,
listening.
so how does
That's
Cavendish
the point.
prove flat Earth go?
How's Cavendish proof flat Earth?
Stop
Yeah.
talking.
Because he already said if he can disprove a force, then it can't be a globe. That's not evidence of a flat Earth. He literally said this already.
I think he stepped away for a bit.
Good.
Kim, are you there?
That was the point. Not listening.
Yeah, because you didn't
We have
disprove
methods,
it.
different methods. Now you want to know.
Stop
if
with
Earth
the
is-
methods and tell me the proof, damn it. I don't want to hear about
No,
your
the
freaking
proof
methods. I don't want to hear
is-
about Cavendish. Cavendish
You
proves
don't hear about Cavendish,
gravity.
that's my
Gravity
proof.
proves the Earth is round.
That's my
Okay,
proof.
wait.
Cavendish-
Connect the
that
dots for
doesn't
me
prove
here.
a shape.
Kimo, how does Cavendish prove the Earth's flat?
Yes. Okay. So now we can get into it. Right. So when I see ships disappear over the horizon or the sun set, I can assume that it's going over curvature and it's going around a ball. Now,
Stop it. Stop.
In order
Stop.
for
I asked
see,
for the
stop,
Earth is
stop,
flat.
stop. Every minute, stop.
I asked
stop.
for the Earth proof that the Earth is flat, and immediately you start talking about the globe again. Stop talking about the globe. Start talking about the flat Earth. Do you understand the difference between proving the flat Earth and proving that the Earth is not a globe? These are two entirely separate things. I ask you for proof that the Earth is flat, not that the Earth is not a globe.
Right, like just because the Earth isn't like if you prove it isn't a globe, it could be any of all the other shapes, right? We want definitive proof that it is the flat shape.
Hexagon, square, parallel.
Curving.
Like,
Why
it
would
could
it
be
be any
anything.
other shape?
I mean, if it's not curving in the way the globe expects, what? It could be hollow. Hollow Earthers exist. Or it could be any other kind of shape. Maybe it's just bigger than we're told. Maybe it's smaller than we're told.
It could have a
The point is
sausage
there's a
shape, a
continuum of
banana
different shapes.
shape.
Just proving that it's not
Banana
one shape doesn't tell you which shape it is. So, does Cavendish prove it's flat, or does it just disprove it being a globe? Chemo.
Tell them how it disproves the force. Chemo, like you said earlier.
Seems to think that they did Cavendish in a vacuum, and that disproved the that Cavendish didn't work in a vacuum. I'm looking for it. I can't find this.
So the
In case he's not gonna
idea,
provide me
remember, we are assuming the Earth is curving, so we have to test this. We have
No,
to
you don't.
ensure.
No, stop, Chemo, stop.
Oh
I want you to assume
can't even
that
get
the Earth is
Chemo, I'm
flat.
really confused. Why, when we ask for a proof of flat, do you always talk about curve?
Right, because of the observations we see in nature. Yeah.
Right, and that to show that the Earth is a
Okay.
globe. Welcome to
So we
globe
look
Earth.
at outside, we see the sun, and it looks like it's going over the horizon, the curvature, and it looks
Okay.
like the boat is going over the curvature. So that we can't
Okay.
avoid that. That's what we see, right?
Right.
So now we can't just go, oh, well, that's what we see, because that's what we see. We need science now. So we have to predict the cause to this effect, like what's going on. So what we do is we say, well, if water is on the vertical, it needs a force to hold it to the vertical. What we do, we take Cavendish, okay, and we try to find the attraction. So if we have the attraction, then it agrees with hypothesis, and then we're correct. Okay. So what we do is we take Cavendish, we look for that mass attracting mass, we find no attraction in the vacuum chamber.
Incorrect.
Therefore,
All right, where's your source for that?
Where's the source for this? Yeah.
get any paper you want. It's not
no,
backed
source.
up with an observation of mass attracting mass.
Yeah, I'm incorrect.
No, wait, no,
Totally
you
incorrect.
made a claim there, right, Chemo? You said that
Yes.
we've
Yes.
seen Cavendish fail in a vacuum. Where did you see this happen?
I've seen a photograph.
Citation.
How does a photograph tell you about motion? Which is
That's what I was
Cavendish
saying.
experiences?
But that's all I saw was
Citation.
no motion. It was just a photograph, and it had a paper with it, and it just said, "Well,
Citation.
yeah, it moved, but we never saw it." So we can conclude
Can you link me to the paper?
with all that information, we can conclude there was no motion.
Citation.
Okay, let's assume that the citation is sound and you've shown no force. Then what?
No, the
How does this prove
citation
flat
says
Earth?
there is a force, but we don't see the force. Then we can conclude. We'll put it all together, compile it together, and there is no force.
Okay,
We
well,
don't
the
observe.
paper never
Okay.
said what you're claiming it said.
The paper said there was a force. The paper said there was an
Wait.
attraction.
How do you
Oh.
compile the paper and stuff that
Okay,
says
so
there is a
when
force?
you gather
and then
evidence-
end up with
Hold
the
on a
result
second,
that there
let me see
isn't.
let me see if I get this straight. So we look over and we see that the Earth is curved because we see the sunset and the ships go over the horizon, but we know that's false. We have the Cavendish experiment, and that shows a gravity, but we know that's false. So we put all this together, and we can assume that and then we magically wave our hands, and poof, the flat Earth pops out, right?
No, because remember, we can't just look at something and say, "Oh, well, that's what I think." That's what You guys are
Oh,
moaning
you
that
just-
flat
Well,
Earth is.
okay, so
you just ignore
oh wait,
every.
Chemo,
Yeah, but
the point
you
I'm
guys are
still hung up
moaning
on.
that flat Earth is like, oh, you just look at this
So
and
where?
you just
So
claim
where's
it
the
is.
evidence, Chemo? Where's
Chemo,
the body
the
of
point I'm hung up on
evidence?
is how do you take a paper
right?
which says there is a force, compile that together with other stuff, and then come to the conclusion that there isn't a force? That contradicts the paper, no?
No. So people write things down all the time. Not a big deal.
Okay, so we're trusting what they see and not what they write, right? And what they see is that they didn't see a force.
They didn't see
right?
a
And that's
force,
why you're
no,
concluding that.
that's
okay,
correct. They
so let's say let's assume the source and stuff like backs this up, that they didn't see it, and that this is all true. So there's no force. Now what?
So then it disagrees with hypothesis, the experiment.
Oh God.
Okay.
Chemo,
So what is
you
the
cannot
conclusion?
do
What was your
this.
hypothesis?
That gravity was holding the water on the vertical.
Okay, so that's our hypothesis. You've shown we've broken that. So gravity does not hold water to the vertical. Now what?
So therefore, it disagrees with the experiment.
Okay, so we've disproven that gravity holds water to the vertical. Amazing. Now what? How's that prove flat Earth?
So now, we don't have any reason to think the Earth is curving. There was no reason for that.
Okay, so let's assume that that's true and say, okay, we know the Earth isn't curving.
So if it's
Now
not
what?
curving, what is it?
Any other shape?
I don't know. You
Like
tell
what?
us.
Like
any
what?
any
You
other
tell
fucking
us.
shape ever?
Connect the dots.
Yeah, clear that up. If it's not curving, what is it?
This is for you to
You
answer.
tell
This is your
us.
proof.
The United States is your proof here. Come on. I have no idea where you are. You lost me 10 minutes ago.
I mean, 10 minutes ago he just hand waved.
And
Everything.
this is the
That's what he's
levels
got
that
to
we're
do.
at.
He's
These
got to hand wave and.
high echelons. See? And we don't make it difficult. We just say, okay, we can go down this method.
Emo,
We can go.
where is your evidence
Well,
for the
okay,
flat
wait.
Earth?
First off, we haven't
all
gotten
you
an
did
answer
was
yet.
just-
Chemo, if it's not curved, what is it? This is your proof, so you should be able to answer it.
What if something's not curved? What is it? Do we have to go back to school?
This
You
is
tell
for
me.
you to answer. This is your presentation of your proof, so you should presumably
So
not
if it's
leave
not
holes in it. What's
curved,
the
then
answer?
it's straight. If there's no
This present-
curvature, then it's straight. Yeah.
This presentation is interactive.
No,
Okay.
his presentation is
This is-
bullshit because
this
he's trying not. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's basically.
but
How do you know?
Chemo.
You guys aren't trying to work with him at all.
Chemo, I have a
because he's
problem with
wrong.
your conclusion, because if you say it's straight, but the observations show that there's a curve,
Mhm.
doesn't that hypothesis also get thrown out because it disagrees with reality?
If you have an experiment to back up your claim, yeah, absolutely.
Oh God, Chemo! You cannot be this stupid, can you?
Remember, we've
You've
got
taken-
to manipulate
okay.
the
Oh,
dependent
let me see if I got this
variable.
right.
No,
Let me see if I got this right,
he's
please.
choosing his words very wisely. He's trying to get you to answer his.
Well, of course,
Clue.
we
Let
have
me
to
see
be
if I got
wise
this right,
about this,
Chemo.
Pure,
Chemo,
of course.
let me-
One
so we
should
got-
be
we
wise.
got looking at-
Unlike our friend earlier on, who was not so wise in this situation, and you guys were able to laugh and joke and mock and ridicule and be successful. But now it's not like that, right?
Chemo,
It's a
here's
lot
another
more
thing.
stressful because
We
obviously
see boats go over the horizon. We see the sun
I'm
set.
giving you
We
the
have the
options.
Cavendish experiment proving gravity. Then we ignore it all and assume that they're all wrong because reasons, and therefore what?
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
but
remember,
Chemo, the
they-
other hole I'm finding out is, how do you know that the Cavendish force is the same as the water sticking to Earth force? Because that's a heliocentric creation, right? That's something that the ballers told you, right? What if that's not true? What if the Earth is actually just a special object? What if the Earth is the only object in the whole universe that has this special property that
Yep.
water is attracted to it?
Hey, I'm down for the what if. I love I love a good old hypothesis. Yes, predictive cause. I love all that stuff. So,
Okay. Well, according to you, that should be true, right? Because Cavendish rules out iron balls attracting to each
According
other.
to me-
Yet we clearly see that water is moving toward the Earth.
like I say, I love a good old what if because now we get to do some science, right? Now you're going to
No,
hypothesize cause and effect,
No,
which
he's
is natural,
He's playing with you.
and we're going to
He's
obviously
playing
do an
with you.
experiment to agree with
He's
that.
playing with
Yeah?
you idiot. He's mocking you, and you don't realize it.
No,
Okay,
he does. He realized it. He's playing into the game, dude. Chemo's
guys
been doing
just
this a
don't
long
wanna-
time.
Go along with anything.
Not a game.
But Chemo, under this assumption that
But we
well,
are- we do
what
wanna
I'm
have a
trying to
good
do is
time.
I'm cutting the string between Cavendish and vertical water sticking to Earthness. Without Cavendish now,
Mm-hmm.
what's your proof?
Without Cavendish, well then I just have to presuppose that we're on a ball.
Okay, but now how do you, without Cavendish, disprove that hypothesis?
Without Cavendish, how do I disprove the force?
Yeah.
I could look at density and relative density.
Okay.
Okay, so I could change the medium, sure.
All right.
And see if the effect is caused by a medium change or density change.
Okay. So, in what medium would water not stick to Earth?
In what medium would water not stick? Well, again, it's not about the medium. You need a force.
Oh, didn't you just say that you would use density and different media?
In this case, yeah, you'd have to have something like an oil, or so oil sits on top of water, right? And we can get other materials to test that. Yeah, for sure. You've seen the density column, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, right?
Yeah.
The goal here is, right, to disprove that water would be vertically attracted to this curved Earth.
With a force,
right?
yeah.
With a force.
Yeah, so we're disproving the force by using relative density.
How does that disprove the force?
Shouldn't it?
How does that disprove the force? How do you know that the effect of the density isn't just changing how the force behaves?
Because we can't manipulate the independent variable with this force. Can't control it, basically.
Okay, so you got to throw it out. If you can't control the variable, you got to throw it out. So so for the last like 20 minutes, all you've said is you actually don't have proof for the Earth being flat.
We have
All you're trying
science. We can prove that water cannot conform to the exterior of an object through Cavendish.
That's not evidence of flat Earth.
Yes, it is.
If that were true. No, it's not.
Listen,
it's not.
You need a force. So whether you're on a flat Earth or not, the point is to show mass attracting mass. That's the point.
Okay, what if we come up with an alternate hypothesis, which is it's not a force, it's just water's nature.
Look, whoa.
Yeah,
That's up
it's
to
the
you.
nature of water.
That's up to you. But my hypothesis is that mass is keeping the water on the ball. That's what I would predict.
Okay, so
It
you
doesn't
can,
matter
if you
whether-
want to, disprove that, but then what about my hypothesis that water's nature is just to stick to Earth because
Again,
water
I
likes
just told
Earth?
you I do love a good old hypothesis. Now, how are you going to test this?
Don't need to. Because
That would be a natural law. That's just an observation that we observe in
nature.
reality that holds true.
Dude,
and as
we just began this by saying we can't just say we see, so therefore it is. Remember?
No, you said that. We didn't agree to it.
That's why I upped the game and said, okay,
Anything?
fine. You can't just look at the flat Earth and say it's flat because you see it's flat. Let's use science or measurements. Yeah? We're up in the game here, so it's not just because you see it.
Okay, actually, I'm curious then. Were you using science in your whole Cavendish proof? If so, what variable did you manipulate?
So again, the idea is that I observe ships going over the horizon. Yeah?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, well, is the water on the vertical?
What variable did you manipulate, Chemo?
I'm about to get
when
to
you
it.
disproved Cavendish.
I'm getting to it. So we're going to go through the steps. So I see something in nature. I think ship, sun, obstruction, whatever, curvature. So in my head now I'm thinking, right, there has to be, what's causing this? How is the water staying on this ball?
What variable did you manipulate, Chemo? Really fucking simple answer.
So
Don't need
I
a
would
monologue.
say gravity
How do you
is
manipulate
causing
gravity?
this. And then therefore I'd have to manipulate gravity. Therefore,
Okay, how did you manipulate gravity?
Right. So now my idea is that if I take two objects of mass, yes, that I will be able to control this force, the attraction, slow it down, speed it up, reverse it, all these wonderful things. If I fail to do that, it fails with hypothesis.
No. What variable did you manipulate? How did you move what did you move, Chemo? What did you change?
The mass.
So mass causes the vertical force.
Mass attracting mass, yeah. Gravity, yeah.
Which masses did you pick? How did you change the mass?
How did I change it? I just changed the size.
Okay. And what were your results?
No attraction, 0.
And your source for these results?
We've got.
When did you do this?
Just Google Cavendish in a vacuum.
Why a vacuum?
Because the variable.
Didn't he say it's never been done in a
Hold on.
vacuum?
How did you change? How did you change the mass in the vacuum? You would have had to go in and change it. Oh.
No. All you need to see is the attraction, and then you can change. You can take it out of the vacuum, put another set of
So,
mass.
Chemo, do you have a source on standby right now that you're referring to when you say that this experiment's been done, or do you just want me to search it and find whatever I find?
If you could search it, it's not hard to find. You're struggling
Okay,
a lot.
what should I search?
Just put Cavendish in a vacuum.
Yeah, he don't have it. He don't have a source because nothing he's saying is actually in the
All
paper.
right, so I'm getting a page from Reddit, a page from Quora, a page from ResearchGate, a page from some Russian site. Which one of these?
Go to images.
Images. Okay.
And then you should see it.
I'm seeing several diagrams. Yeah.
And not a photograph.
I think some of these are photographs. Yeah. Okay, so I see a photograph.
Oh, let me get it for you. Goodness, not that hard. It comes up straight away
Timo,
for me.
you've always said during the experiment you would have to
First
manipulate
one for me. It's the first one. It comes up
something. You would
immediately.
have to move it. Yeah.
Not that
So why is your standard different for you than for everyone else? Because you say during the experiment you need to be able to manipulate the independent variable.
Yeah. So what you do, you change.
Yeah.
So look, here it is.
Yeah,
Do you observe any attraction? No. I know it's a photograph. It's.
Well, also that doesn't fit your hypothesis because that door's open, so it's not in a vacuum.
Yeah, but that's the paper. That's where the paper's from.
Oh, this is this is from Quora,
Hold on,
which is
because
not
it's not on video
a scientific
showing the fucking
journal.
objects move. Therefore, he didn't see the movement.
We didn't see any. We didn't observe.
This is his logic.
Yeah,
You
we
get this,
didn't
right?
observe mass attract. Show me the observation. Let's have a look. It's not there.
This is your proof, motherfucker, not mine.
Yeah,
Wait, Chemo, I thought you said that just because we see something doesn't mean it is. So why are you asking for an observation of them seeing something?
No, I mean obviously miles and miles away,
Yes,
right?
You just said. You said that earlier, Chemo, and now
So,
you're
okay,
saying because
so-
it's a photograph with the fucking door open,
being silly now.
they didn't see movement, therefore no movement.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Curve. Unless you show
Yeah,
pure,
yeah.
not Curve, pure. So unless you show the observation in nature, then why should we believe it? Exactly.
Oh my god.
So
Chemo.
my method here is valid because I
No, it's
predicted the
not.
cause.
Okay, well, did the paper that this image is from
Mhm.
do the Cavendish experiment?
Yeah, well, the papers supposedly said they did it. They saw the observation, but no one's seen it.
I don't want to know about supposedly. I want to know the truth.
They
The
said they
the
saw
paper-
it in the paper. Yes, the paper says
Okay,
it moved.
what's the title of the paper so I can be sure?
Dude, it's not that hard to find. Why are you struggling with this?
Well, I found the image. I
this
found
is
the
your
Quora article
evidence
the
to
image was
provide.
posted on, and it links to a ResearchGate source. The name of this is Development and Testing of Field Emission Thrusters at TU Dresden. Is this your source for the Cavendish experiment?
Spurs, are you self-validating again?
I guess so.
What do you mean you get? I thought you knew this beforehand, right? This
He
is your
doesn't.
source.
Bio provided the paper to him.
Yeah.
And,
There you go.
and now he's not. Now he
Can't
won't
find
provide it.
yeah. But it's not that
This is your
important. If
evidence
it was
to
out there,
provide,
it'd be
Chemo.
out there, right?
This is your claim, Chemo. You're the one supposed to be providing the evidence. Remember? Not fucking Google it.
That's all you're going to see anyway.
It's not that hard to find.
You're not going to see any more than that anyway. That's it. That's all they're going to show.
What are you talking about? That's figure 26, which means there are 25 other images before that, and I'm only 2/3 of the way through the paper.
Oh, you found the paper. Excellent.
Yes. It's
See?
easy. It was 2 clicks from the picture.
There you go. You see, it's all there.
Yeah, and guess what? We do a search for Cavendish. Ooh,
Yeah, but what I'm saying
0
is,
results.
I'm saying this backs up flat Earth because we do not observe mass attracted mass. Nobody sees
Well,
that.
no. Well,
you don't because you
your
motherfuckers actually
argument
don't do this.
relied on, quote, Cavendish, unquote. That term doesn't show up anywhere in this paper, so your paper does not support your proof.
So this is not Cavendish in a vacuum.
This is not Cavendish in a vacuum, according to the paper. It doesn't say Cavendish at all.
So we were lied to again then.
No, you just did
No,
faulty research.
You're lying.
You can't read chemo. That's not the same as lying.
No, this was presented to us as proof of Cavendish in a vacuum. This picture.
Who
So if it's
presented
not-
you as Cavendish in a vacuum? Who
Nobody
tricked you because
presented
you're
that
so
image.
gullible you can't read it yourself?
You just told us BioDual presented this.
No, he presented a paper. I didn't say this paper. He presented a paper to you that you keep referencing that you never read that you don't fucking have.
So that's the point. No one can find.
And you don't and you don't know what it. You don't even know what it is. No, you can't. Not nobody. You can't.
Well, me and others like yourself cannot find Cavendish in a vacuum anywhere, anyone at any time.
Why do you need
How
to do
hard?
Cavendish
Okay,
in a
but
vacuum?
how
Why
hard
do
have
need
you
to-
looked?
Why would you need to do
It
Cavendish in a
hasn't looked at
vacuum?
all.
Well, what would Cavendish in a vacuum prove?
That would prove gravity.
No, Cavendish itself proves gravity.
And Cavendish not in a vacuum doesn't prove gravity because
The atmosphere is the cause.
Reason.
Incorrect.
the atmosphere is the cause.
Totally incorrect.
Did you prove that?
Idiot.
Yeah, by putting it in a
If you
vacuum.
mani-
By putting it in a vacuum.
No,
yeah.
incorrect. So you want someone to do Cavendish in the vacuum, and when you do that,
You like
you
this,
move the
Emerald?
goalpost
You
again,
see how we
right?
do it? You see?
You're gonna,
This is
you
not.
move
We're
the
not
goalpost-
novices.
No, you move,
we are.
you will move
top-
the goalpost again.
No.
we are-
You made a claim. You just made a claim, Chemo. You said that the
Or- I bet they've
atmosphere is the
done
cause
that
if we don't do it in a vacuum, right? I said, what happens if we don't do it in a vacuum? And you said, then the atmosphere is the cause.
draft.
So now you have to show, without a vacuum, that the atmosphere is the cause.
Have you seen Blue's test?
Yes.
The Blue did it for us already. He's shown that there is motion outside of a vacuum, which we know the cause, which is the atmosphere.
Incorrect.
The draft.
No,
If you
that's your
remove
assumption.
The draft,
That's not your evidence.
If you remove that atmosphere and you put it in a vacuum, there is no attraction.
Incorrect.
Wait, how do you know? If you're at the same time telling us that it doesn't work in a vacuum, and also saying that we haven't done it in a vacuum. So how do you know the results of an experiment that you don't think exists?
Because I've just told you we've had a paper that says it's been done, but without the demonstration.
Okay.
Mhm.
So if they haven't demonstrated it, then how do you know the results of an experiment that hasn't been demonstrated to you?
Because it's never been provided. No one has ever seen mass attracted mass in a vacuum.
Wrong with the 1960s one where they showed you the little clear rectangular Lexan box in a vacuum, and you didn't like that one for some reason.
It wasn't a
Why-
vacuum, Mike, was it?
Well, no, it said it was a vacuum. They claimed it was a vacuum.
But it wasn't a vacuum.
Why not? How do you know that?
It wasn't a vacuum because you say it's not a vacuum.
Well, go on, post
Say,
again. Let's have a look then, Mike. Let's review it. I don't mind. Let's look again. Let's review it. Let's see this vacuum.
You'll just hand wave it again, Chemo, because that's what you do.
You move the goalpost, Chemo. If we do it in a vacuum, we take Cavendish, we put them in a vacuum, we do the experiment, it proves mass attracting mass
No,
in
if
a
you do it in a
vacuum. which
vacuum,
will-
flat Earth
then
is
you
half
move
over.
the goalpost
Flat Earth
again.
is almost done. If you can show it in a
Well,
vacuum.
yeah, it'll be it has to be a perfect.
What do you think
vacuum.
BioDual is doing right now? He's not been here. Why? Because he's out there trying to perform this experiment, which is impossible.
You don't know what
It's
he's
not
doing.
impossible.
How do you know
Another
it's
assumption by
impossible?
you.
Why
That's
is
the thing,
mass
I feel like
does
there's
not
this strong
attract mass, my
there's this
friend.
strong conflation,
attracts
and
mass
it's
because it does.
rife throughout the whole community that just because you haven't been shown something, or because nobody has given it to you, or because you haven't found it on your own research, this thought that something must be impossible. That's called inductive reasoning, and guess what? It is not logically sound in general.
No, because again, there are a load of papers without the experiment. Do you have a
What?
paper plus experiment? No, you don't.
I'm attempting
you
to
don't know
find
who
one,
does.
and I might have just found. I might have just
Why
found
don't you do it?
the
You know,
pot of
because
gold.
you're the one that requires it.
Well, go on,
You
give them
require
a-
it. You require other people to do.
Hold on.
shit
He
for
said he's
you.
got one. He's
Because
got
he
it
doesn't do
here.
anything by himself.
Emerald's
He can-
got gold. He's a diamond here. He's a jewel. Here, let's have a look. Diamond. Jewel guy.
haven't read this one yet, but I
Got a
posted it
duel
in case
here.
it might be
Someone
useful.
who's about to do something that's never been done before. We're going to see mass attracting mass.
It's not quite never been done before because this is dated in
That's
2008.
Cavendish.
When you guys do this, I get so excited, but then you let me down.
Yeah, because you're an idiot. Because we're arguing with a moron who's hand waving everything we say away. What
Yeah,
effect
problem is
will the
we showed
atmosphere
you
have on this? Tell me.
We
what
showed you
effect-
the 1961s inside a box, and for some reason you say it wasn't a vacuum,
Inside a
but you have no
box.
evidence that it wasn't a vacuum.
In a box.
It said
Not
it
a
was a
vacuum,
vacuum.
Mike.
It said it was a vacuum.
No, it didn't. Show it.
Look at this one. Look at this one. Look at this one. This is Cavendish inside a vacuum chamber.
Go on, then I'm ready. Let's have a look. All right.
He has already been showing multiple Cavendishes in a vacuum. He will
take a
not
look.
concede a point because he's not honest.
Hunter.
All
Hunter
right.
says it's
Excellent.
something
Hold
wrong
on. We've got
with
it from Page Shield Guy. So, what's the timestamp there, Page Shield Guy? Let's take a look at this. I'm so excited. Page Shield's got Cavendish in a vacuum. We're going to see it and observe it for the... What's the timestamp there, Page Shield Guy?
I don't know. I just found it.
No faux singing, please.
Was that singing? I'll try not to sing it. I was just like, I'm so
Just
excited.
faux singing.
He's got Cavendish, and we know.
And you just can't hide it.
I can't hide it now. So what's the timestamp there, Page Shield?
I don't know. What? You tell me.
Fucking watch it.
Me tell you. You tell me. Me
I
tell
am about
you.
to lose control, and I think I like it.
No. All of this shit has been supposedly your evidence, your body of information for flat Earth. Not.
And I'm looking at his link now. I'm looking at his link right now on the big
moved it
screen.
for these guys to provide you evidence for your own fucking claim.
No, I'm looking at his link now, and we see pictures.
No. Yes.
Pictures.
This was your opportunity. 5 years now, Timo.
Citation.
For
Okay,
your
have you popped
claim.
up in my archive paper yet? At 3 minutes past the hour. It is a 4-page paper, so hopefully I'm going to gloss over most of it and point out only the relevant points.
What did you say? 4 minutes is the timestamp. Where? What? Give me the link.
I'll post it again. There it is. Bottom of the
gosh.
chapter.
Excited and nervous at the same time.
The great thing about this paper, in my opinion, is that it's only 4 pages long. So, I will paraphrase and point out what I believe to be the only relevant details.
No, I'm looking at the timestamp of the observation.
The
Alright, so I'm going down. Let's have a look. You've got 5 centimeters, you've got page 1. Oh, let me give this for the audience, the big screen. So
the paper
this is
dated
the observation of mass attracting mass from Emerald. Yeah. As we scroll down, we see writing, lots of writing.
It's first to ensure that we're satisfying assumptions. Go ahead and hop to the very top of page 2, where it says, the entire system was under a vacuum, approximately equal to 10 to the minus 6 torr, in a temperature-controlled and magnetically shielded environment. This means the atmosphere was not responsible for the results of this experiment. Magnetic fields were not responsible for the results of this experiment. Temperature variations were not responsible for the results of this experiment.
Yes, you're right.
Yep. Now when he uses a video, you're not going to show him the video. Dismiss.
Yes. So everything that I said was the cause. They're saying is not the cause. Yes.
That's correct. Now, if you hop to the very top of page 3, you will see the measurements that they recorded in this experiment.
Do you expect him to actually read these pictures?
Temperature control.
I'm showing him only the pictures for this reason.
The
very top of page 3, you will see a graph. Do you see the graph that shows torque? The very top left graph on page 3. The thing to notice is that the lines are not straight.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, the blue one and the black one. Yes.
Spurs. When you look at this, could you consider that the ether could be the cause of it all?
No. It tells you here. He told you that there was no. Let's look at it again. Top of page 2. The entire system was under a vacuum, and temperature controlled and magnetically. I'll make that out. Glasses. But basically,
That's because you can't measure it, VD. That's evidence for ether.
The fact
So
you
this is
can't
great.
measure it is
This is
evidence that
exactly
it's
what
there.
I've been looking for,
It's
Emerald.
unmeasurable,
Okay.
so you won't get any measurements. Therefore, it's
Yeah.
there.
Emerald.
But
This is
so I'll try to explain the context behind the graph on page 3.
Yeah,
the way
go
that the
for it.
Horsian balance works is that presumably the existing force of attraction between the two masses will create a torque.
Mhm.
And as you vary the variables of mass and distance, you will get different readings for that torque. So, if there were no attraction and there was no reason to believe that changing the distance between the objects would change the torque, then those lines in that graph should be completely flat and at 0. But what we notice is that instead, there is a change over time. As we go from left to right, which is changing the distance, that's what S is in millimeters, you'll see that the torque changes. Therefore,
see that,
change in distance of masses causes a change in the attractive force
I can see that, yeah.
in a vacuum.
But what does that mean, man?
No, he's done it. He's
proven the flat
proven
Earth is
gravity.
wrong.
No.
Okay, so
Oh, he's proving gravity. Oh, somebody quote that shit.
Goodness
So,
me.
Chemo, how you
Chemo
gonna
in 2021, he proved gravity.
So, Chemo, how are you going to deny this one?
He's rocked the world, yeah.
How are you going to?
We're
how you
looking
gonna deny this
at
one now?
we're looking at a cartoon of dots, and he's definitely shown.
Come on, Chemo, move the goalpost now.
He's
Come
definitely
on.
rocked.
Gamma spiraling. Look out, guys.
Move the
Shelter.
goalpost, Chemo.
Gamma spiraling. Out of control.
Definitely shown
Hand wave it,
something for
Chemo.
sure.
Come on, hand
He's
wave.
shown
Come on,
how
Chemo.
incapable he is
Yeah,
of actually conducting science. Now, again, I could show you pretty pictures from the Bible. Okay, I can show you words from
The
the
Bible
Bible.
doesn't have any pictures, Kimo. That's a lie.
Right, I can show you little graphs of the. I can show you little pictures of the Noah's Ark.
You
Right, I can
just
show
said you could show us pictures from the Bible. Please show us some pictures from the Bible.
I can show you
dance
a
first,
chart that says, okay, that animal went in, check. That animal went in, check, and all of this.
Okay, so where are your pictures?
Right, 2 by 2. In came the animals.
Come on, Chemo. Dance.
You said you had pictures, though, Chemo.
2 through the window and 2 through the door.
Pictures or it didn't happen, Chemo.
That's what I
So
thought. Chemo.
now we
you're
can
an idiot.
establish that this means
Are you-
nothing.
Chemo,
Emerald.
Chemo,
Okay.
Chemo. Are you an idiot or a pro?
Because what we're
are
looking
you?
The
for.
issue, so Chemo, I'm gonna
unable-
help. I'm gonna help make
you
it clear
unable to
why
understand
there's a
this?
difference between what you're talking about, which we shouldn't trust, versus this, which we should. What you're talking about is, in the example of the Ark, a single historical event that is alleged
Yes.
that you are going to create a graph for. That is not a repeatable event because people do not go out and create arcs and stuff
Well,
every
it is
animal on Earth
repeatable
into them.
because we're in the days of Noah now.
Yeah, you just weren't around when people were doing that. They were doing it on the
Yeah, but we are
Okay.
now in the days of
down low,
Noah.
man.
Yeah.
But we are not. One person does not have the ability, or at least no person that I've heard of has the ability to take every animal on Earth, every species, and take take 2 of them and put them on a boat.
Because
So, hence
Abraham,
it is not.
No, not Abraham. Sorry, Noah was just, was a good man. Yes, and in his soul, in his heart, he didn't have all the sin and lust and all the the evil that everyone else did.
What did he do after
How did
the
he not
flood?
have sin
Who did he have
if he
sex
was-
with after the flood?
But either way, this experiment that I presented
Yeah,
to
he
you
gets
is
a lot of
repeatable
leeway
because,
for
as you
saving
see
the
in the
world.
bottom left of page 1, it explains in detail the experimental setup. So if you had this equipment,
Look, this
or
is
if
gonna
you
get
knew
silly
someone
now.
who
Just
did,
gonna warn
you
now.
could do
You
this
had the
experiment yourself
opportunity,
and
you had your
verify for
chance.
yourself
We've
that these
just spent,
results are true.
We spent a good 30-45 minutes going around in circles with your nonsense. All you provided is a piece of paper with cartoons with dots. That could be anything. Like I said to you, I can provide you the Bible with pictures.
I'll be more precise, Kima. What I've provided to you is a peer-reviewed paper that details an experiment,
Okay.
including how to do it, and then shows the results of their running it.
Okay.
If you'd like to verify this, then find someone or an institution like a university, which has a lot
Okay,
of
so let's
money,
try one
that
more
can
time
get this equipment.
before we break down. Can you show an observation of mass attracting mass in a vacuum? Can
What
you show
classifies
the
as an observation to you?
observation of mass attracting mass?
What counts as an observation to you?
So we want to see the phenomenon that is mass
phenomenon.
So you want to see it, and what media would allow you to see it? I'm assuming pictures and or videos, but pictures don't show motion, so you want a video, right?
We need an observed phenomenon of mass attracting mass.
So basically you want a video.
Listen, I want an observation. I want to see.
I know. We this is where we were at 2 minutes ago. I asked you, what do you mean by an observation?
Yes.
And you said you want to be able to see it.
I want to see.
And the only online media I know of that lets you see things visually are videos and pictures.
Okay.
Pictures don't capture emotion, so what you're asking for is a video.
What I'm asking for is an observed phenomena in nature that I can see and then I can predict the cause to. So you need to show me mass attracting mass. Okay?
The earth has mass because we can pick up the dirt on it and feel that it has weight. Water has mass because we can fill a bucket with it and it gets heavier. Water is attracted to earth.
Okay,
we can observe that. In fact, I could observe that right now if I turned on my sink.
Let's go back again.
Mass attracting mass. I want you to think back to Anthony Riley going after Karen Pettit. That is some mass attracting mass right there.
But you understand, before this gets silly and into nonsense world, and you start giving me your poetry, to Emerald here, you need to show the observation in the real world of mass attracting mass. Otherwise, we may as well just get the Bible out and read. You can read your scriptures, you can read your scriptures, I'll read my scriptures, and we can just read.
Was what I gave you not sufficient? I just told you two things of mass that attract each other in the real world. Is dirt not real? Is water not real?
No, that's the observation that we're
yeah,
trying
that's
to
what you
test.
asked for. You asked for an observation.
We don't know why those things. We don't know what causes that to happen, right?
That's the point of the experiment.
Exactly. So you need to show that in your experiment that we observe mass attracting mass.
I told you in that graph on page 3, if there were no attraction, that line should read 0 because 0 means no attraction.
I know what you told me. I know what they say. We're fully aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
What we're asking for is the observation. Observation of mass attracting
The observation
mass.
took place with measurement tools.
Yeah.
That you do realize that observations can take place with more than the human eye, right?
I do realize all of this. Again, I'm not denying, arguing, hand waving. I accept all of what you're saying. They did this, they did that, Wonderful. What we need
if you're accepting that they did that and they did this, then what's the problem?
Problem is that no one has ever observed mass attracting mass.
How not? If you accept that an observation can involve instruments, and you accept that the people in this paper did in fact take measurements with those instruments, then logically, those people took observations of mass attracting mass.
Well, dude, we've got a historical account of biblical events. Why wouldn't you believe it? What's the problem?
This is a repeatable experiment.
You can repeat
you
this.
Can
well,
do
if
this.
you want to do a miracle, you've just got to follow this procedure. Start praying, worshipping, fasting.
Yeah. And the moment that people are able to repeatedly and demonstratively perform miracles is the moment that they'll become part of mainstream science.
Miracles happen every single day. Are you there to witness them? No. So what you need to do, if you want to see your own miracle, you need to be able to pray, fast, and attend certain places. And then after 40 days or something like this, you'll be able to perform miracles, heal people. Now, of course, this sounds crazy to you because you're like, well, I'm not going to do that.
I mean, it sounds like an interesting hypothesis. If someone actually put this to the test and with, say, a large sample of people did that same exact procedure and then showed that they could perform miracles, wrote it in a paper per se, and then wrote a procedure on how someone else could repeat it, then that'd be great.
Why do you think we have churches, dude, and the Bible, dude? People go every single week to see miracles performed, dude.
Okay.
So
well, then there you go.
So there you go. So it's the same. It's
Miracles.
the same way you're
saying.
And
do you believe that that is true?
Again, it's not about what I believe, it's about what we know, what we can test readily available. Now, you're saying that you doubt these miracles because unless you saw one right now, I'd have to give you.
I didn't say I doubted them. I was asking for your rationale for why we shouldn't, and you gave one, and I said okay. So now, why do you doubt the results of this paper? If you don't doubt the results of miracles, why do you doubt this? You seem to have the issue of doubting one but not the other.
In order for me to believe in those miracles, it'd be just a belief.
Well, why? Didn't you say that that's what churches are, a place where that can be tested and done in a rigorous manner?
Because people believe, yeah. What people believe. Just a belief, dude. Not science, as you said. I'm showing you that what you have is the same as the religious church, just a belief.
Except that this is an objectively repeatable experiment with concrete data.
That's what
that
I'm
doesn't
talking
require
about. That's what I'm talking about.
pre-existing belief.
If it was different, you would show me right now I couldn't show you a miracle right now because that's faith and religion. But if science,
well, no, because science does not have this science does not have this prerequisite that any experiment must be available for anyone to do right now when someone asks for it.
Same
of course,
as religion,
there is equipment required to set up this experiment.
Fine. Same
precisely.
as the miracles. We don't have to show you a miracle right now. You have to wait a couple of months and you'll get it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. As soon as there's a peer-reviewed, repeatable, well-demonstrated, well-evidenced, good evaluated paper that shows that anybody can do miracles by following XYZ procedure,
you'll believe it.
And have that be verified by experimental evidence, both in the paper and by repeating it, then great. That's no longer just a belief.
You're going to believe it then, yeah?
Of course. If I can repeat it for myself, if I've seen that it's been repeated, and if it's been cited as with a procedure that is complete,
so you only believe stuff that you can repeat yourself.
I mean, some people believe you have to repeat it yourself.
Have you been to Australia? Do you believe in Australia?
I do believe in Australia
because
I know people.
You haven't been there, though.
I'm aware of people. You're right.
So, if you've heard of people doing miracles, so what's the problem?
I don't personally know anybody who has done miracles. I know people who are in Australia.
Who do you know? How do you know they're in Australia?
Mostly from this forum.
But how do you know that actually
this forum and other servers, folks who are actually Aussies.
But how do you know?
I don't know you, Emerald. I'm sorry, I don't know you.
Okay.
How do you know they're in Australia? That I'm asking you. Just a belief, right?
That's their claim.
Exactly. You don't know for sure that. So you're saying the only way for you to know something is if you do it yourself.
What happened to Paid NASA show?
I don't know. It's all muted. Then.
Where did he get out audited?
I don't know. But Emerald, you see the point of what's happening is that you're saying just believe in this paper, even though you, like yourself, you or me, none of us, me or you, cannot repeat it. You're saying, but other people can, and I just believe them. And I'm saying, well, people say they do miracles. There's the Bible. We just believe them, and unless we can do it ourselves, and we don't believe them.
Does the process of doing miracles have a repeatable foundation? Like, does it have a list of steps that
every
anybody
country
can take?
in the world is doing miracles, different languages, works everywhere.
Okay, well then, what's the problem? If everyone's doing it, then what's the issue?
So you believe in miracles? You believe in God, yeah?
If your definition of miracle encapsulates things that you claim people are doing all the time, and I can see that they're doing it, then sure.
Great. So you believe Jesus rose from the dead, died for your sins?
Is that an example that's repeatable?
No, that's all part of the miracles. You believe in miracles.
Is that specific miracle repeatable?
Miracles, anything can happen in a miracle, right? You can walk on water, you can heal the sick, you can turn water into wine.
Name one person who was an amputee that had their limb grown back by a miracle. Go.
Oh, that must happen all the time. It's a miracle. Any miracle can happen, right?
It happens all the time, and you can find one person, please.
You don't need to see it.
You should be able to find one example at least. I mean, this paper I presented to you is just one example, right? If we wanted to really go through the whole history of the literature on this, we could probably find more. But the question, I mean,
I'm sure we can find
how many is enough?
stories
At what
of,
point will this become more than just an unfounded belief and turn into a theory?
Yeah, but we can find
How
any
about someone
story.
whose eye grew back after it got shot out by a
Yeah,
BB?
we can find a story, but again, is it
Yeah,
believable?
find it.
What, X-Men for a start? Wolverine, he regenerates.
That's real. It's a
Your best
documentary.
evidence is Hugh Jackman? Fail.
Why? It's on television, it's been written about. What's the problem?
Oh, okay. So
He
fiction
repeated it in
equals
different
Bible.
movies.
I got you, Chemo. You're saying the Bible is fiction. Thank you.
In many different movies, he's repeated it. No, I'm saying
Yeah.
this is a real thing. Movies tell you the
And
reality.
that would all be great if
The
it weren't for
Bible
the
is not
fact
a
that
real
the
thing.
production
I appreciate
studio
it,
self-admitted that the story is fictional,
You
and that
don't
the
know that,
trailers of
though.
every one of these
You don't
movies
know
will find
that
a
it's all
disclaimer that states
You
that
don't
the
know that,
entire
though,
world
it's
that movie
fictional.
took place in was fictional.
How do you know it's fiction? How do they do it then? Let's see you repeat it. Let's see you repeat it. And me
Doesn't matter
repeat
how they did it. The point is that they even self-admit at the end of each movie in the trailer, or sorry, in the credits, that it is fictional.
Show
so
me.
that discounts
Show
this
me
as
where it
evidence.
says that.
It says it at the end of. I mean, you can watch the.
Let's
I mean,
have
if
a
you want
look
to
then.
bootleg the
Just
movie,
screen
go ahead.
cap it.
But at
Let's
the end
have
of
a
every
look.
one of these fictional superhero movies, they have to have a disclaimer that states that the events and persons in this film are entirely fictional, and any resemblance to real people dead or alive is purely coincidental.
The disclaimer, by the way, is exactly for people like Chemo who might actually question this stupid
Where is
shit.
that disclaimer? Let's have a look. Show me.
It takes place, I believe, at the end of the credit scene of every one of these movies.
Well, let's
I
have
don't
a look.
have the
I know
movies
what you
on
believe.
hand
I know
by
you
me
have
right
a
now.
belief. I know you have faith. But can we have some facts? Any chance? Anything real?
We can, yeah. You can show that you can verify this for yourself. Go to the movies and find some fictional
it
movie.
sounds like you're the only one who has trouble distinguishing what is real from what is not
Okay,
real.
fine. I
We would
believe you.
consider
Faith.
that a
Fine.
disease.
The reason I'm not showing you one right now is because I don't legally own any movies on my laptop right now, and it would be illegal for me to show you one otherwise.
Yeah, we can say any wild claim. That's how you're working. We can say anything. Miracles.
It's not a
we
wild
can
claim. It's a
say-
claim that there exists text in a film, in a motion picture production, and in fact, in almost all of them, in the cases of ones that are fictional.
Well, go on. Let's have a look.
It's not
at
an
that.
exact. It's not a wild claim, dude.
Let's have
Go
a
to the
look then.
movies.
Let's see where it says that at the end of movies.
Am I at the movies right now?
You're the one that said it.
I said that at the movies this is a thing. Does that mean I'm at the movies right now?
Let's take a look then. Let's prove your claim.
I'm not at the movies right now.
You don't have to be. People record
How
at
else
movies
am I
all the
going to
time.
watch the movie legally?
People record it. Just take a screenshot of this.
End of credits. Fiction disclaimer. Let's see if it's easier to find. Oh, hey, what do you know? You look it up in the very first... Actually, you know what? Tell me what.
I think you got beat to it by quantum erase.
Yeah.
You were talking about
Quote, the
X-Men.
persons and events in this...
We're
Hey, I
talking
actually
about
almost...
X-Men. I said Wolverine.
Which
What the
X-Men
hell is
film do you
Hamburger
want?
Hill?
Show me
I'll just do
X-Men.
Dark Phoenix because it's the most recent one.
You said X-Men. I said X-Men.
Okay, well...
He's saying
let's see
like
if-
that, like it has a point. No. You're showing me Marvel. I asked for X-Men.
Boom, 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 boom.
No singing, Chemo.
Not singing. It's just
It
background.
is singing. It is music. We'll get the channel flag.
So look, the idea is that you're searching for your miracle here. While hey, Percent's here.
Not a miracle.
Take
It's a
over now.
fact that I'm scrounging up
So
evidence
basically, if you want to know what we're talking about, these guys again think mass attracts mass, and he thinks he's observed Cavendish in a vacuum.
Misconception of reality,
And
really.
in an incredible
They
feat
fail
of
so
staying
hard
on
on this
topic,
question,
Chemo has turned the
Percent. It's
conversation of
unbelievable.
mass attracting mass into me now searching for a bootlegged version of X-Men Dark Phoenix to find the disclaimer of fiction at the end of it. Imagine
Because-
that. A flat
Go
Earth
Percent,
server
go on.
discussion devolving into finding a
man,
bootlegged
they're
movie
crazy,
and looking
these
at the
guys.
credits. Oh yeah. By the way, to prove a point about a so and so miracle.
This is amazing.
Amazing. Gotta love it. Gotta love the kind of productive conversation that happens over here.
Yo, you let it happen, bro.
I mean, these.
Just,
what
it's
is
just
wrong with it? Why is he
astronomical.
searching? Right, because I said like, and listen, I can't. It's just gone crazy. So I can't even bother to get it. I mean, I said to him.
You said, quote, find me in X-Men. This disclaimer that I talked about.
No, but why? I said that Wolverine can regenerate, yeah, and he's like, "Oh, no, they can't." I'm like, "Yeah, it's been written down, and it's on the TV." So he was like, "I want to show you that it says it's fictional at the end of the movie, and you can't find it." He's still searching for it.
That's kind of fun.
Well, yeah. Believe it or not, the people on the internet work very hard to make it so you cannot illegally find a full movie on the internet.
It's very easy to
Wolverine is
find.
more
It's easy.
model.
Emo, how are you perplexed by this? That's ridiculous.
Never seen.
You need to get evaluated, bro.
Oh,
No, I found it. It was just a different link.
Oh, you found one.
Give me a bit to scroll through the trillions of credits.
Is there a number to that free mental health care now?
Yeah, just to send him a DM.
Found one. Successful? Oh, he's still looking.
Man, I'm gonna help this guy out because I feel bad for him a little bit.
Waiting for all the credits.
probably
All
is
you need
one,
to
but
do,
the idea
no,
is-
all you need to do is go to Wikipedia and find the Wolverine Wikipedia page saying that he's a fictional character.
That would actually be a lot easier, yeah.
That's in the comic books, but we're talking about the movie.
Yeah.
Obviously a cartoon.
Okay,
Obviously a
fine. There's your
cartoon is
screenshot.
fictional, yeah?
Quote near the bottom: the events, characters, and firms depicted in this photography are fictitious. Any similarity to actual persons, living or dead, or to actual events or firms is purely coincidental.
Oh, because they say.
Was
they say
that
it's
so
true.
hard?
Well, are they talking about the producers, the editors, the writers, so everyone that's...
Now you can ask about what they're physically talking about.
No, they say depicted in this photo play, which means the characters like Wolverine.
Yo, I'm pretty sure there was a porno called Dark Phoenix that was released that same year.
But the
So,
idea is,
like, how do we
again,
know this
is...
is not that?
There might be, but this isn't that.
It was an all-male cast. That's why he enjoyed it so much.
So, again, the idea
Because-
is that just because it's written down, it doesn't mean that it's a reality. So, with Cavendish, got to show the observation.
Or, equally sufficiently, a procedure by which other people can repeat and validate
I can't
and
believe you
verify
actually looked for
the
that,
results.
dude.
Or, because this is just a reassertion of the claim. So ideally, you would have like the making process. I don't know if it was Stan Lee or whoever that created this fictional character, but the process by which he made the character or thought of it or something like that. Some sort of evidence to that end.
No, not that. I mean, we know it's not a real character. We're saying that his Cavendish...
Do we though, Chemo? Do we really?
You want to say it's real? Okay, fine.
Chemo's giggling. That's how you know he's lying.
So you think Wolverine is a real character?
Right
then?
against him. He's faking
All I
it.
know is that I haven't seen any substantiation to show me that he's fictional.
What? You can regenerate limbs and stuff.
Yeah, it sounds implausible, right? But I haven't seen any he just asserted the claim that he's fictional, but I haven't seen actual evidence of it. I haven't seen empirical evidence of him being fictional. Just a claim of that.
Okay, I see.
Also, remember,
if there
old
was,
man Logan, he dies.
Like
So he doesn't
maybe
always regenerate.
if there was a
That's because
documentary of
there's
Stan Lee
adamantium
creating the
skeleton,
X-Men
actually.
characters or something like that, how do we know that the X-Men didn't actually exist?
Right, and they're just based off some... you say that they said it in a
because-
disclaimer.
Well, it's because
So they made
it's-
the assertion and therefore it's true? Come on.
Exactly, that's what I was trying to point out.
claims without evidence can be dismissed without evidence.
Now, I'm not saying Wolverine is real. My point is that
you don't know.
No, there's just no proof that he's real.
There's no proof that he's fake, though.
Yeah, but claims
They're just
asserted
claims.
without
Kimo,
evidence
you
can be
believe Wolverine is
dismissed.
as real as Jesus?
No, that's not what
We
I
could
was saying.
dismiss claims that don't have
Yeah,
evidence.
that's why you brought it up.
I brought it up to show it's the same as the Cavendish fraction vacuum.
You guys don't even know what Cavendish is even about.
Except, A, the Cavendish paper that I presented does not come with a disclaimer
Hey, talk to me
asserting
now.
from the authors that it is
Whatever you
fictitious.
want. But
And
we
two,
were
it
just
includes a
talking about mass
procedure by
attracting
which
mass.
other researchers can do the same experiment.
Bro, just like you said, an disclaimer is just an assertion. It's not
course.
evidence.
It's a reification fallacy.
I don't want to go that far.
The question is, can Cavendish be accounted for with, say, electromagnetic forces or other stuff?
Lemon, hey.
That is also partially shown in the paper, at least to the extent of magnetism.
Because as a flatty, you don't need gravity to pull anything into a ball if we're on a flat surface. There could be other forces at play at that point. Hey, Kimo.
Hey, Lemon. So, I mean, again, you guys can, I mean, he thinks he's observed mass attracting mass through a paper.
I didn't say I've observed it. I said they observed it.
And we trust them? Okay, let's see how trustworthy they are. Let's see if there's something else that can account for this.
Good question.
Okay, so
Very
here's the
plausible
question.
that
Is
these
it
people
possible-
could be wrong. Or,
is
sorry,
it possible
it's
to is it possible to prove something is fictitious?
Yeah.
Well, science does tell itself a couple fables, a couple just so stories to guide exploration in the faith and hope that one day they can discover what they're looking for.
No, I'm saying like philosophically, epistemologically, is it possible to prove something as fictitious? I don't think so, because fictitious is just not real, right? So
It's-
you're basically trying to prove a negative, and
I mean,
without
in a
omnisciency,
mathematical sense, there are ways of proving that certain things don't exist, but that requires the object that you're asking about to exist within that framework, right? Like, I can ask if a certain kind of number exists or not, and there can be a definitive proof that shows it doesn't exist.
We just
yeah,
need to
but
be
math
able
is just
to
like
account
input
for it.
versus
when
input equals output, right?
Right. Well, kind of.
doesn't really
There-
apply in this context.
Right. So when it comes to applying it to more subjective things, do I have a flying unicorn in my room right now? There's nothing y'all can do to disprove that.
Well, no, that's very specific. In your room, someone could come in and examine your room and see that there's a flying unicorn, right?
But then
To
I
say
could
flying
move the
unicorns
goalpost
don't
and say it's
exist.
invisible.
Period. Point blank is you can't really say that because unless
I
you're
haven't
omniscient.
specified whether the unicorn's visible or not. I could just simply claim that it makes no sound, doesn't interact with the EM field at all, is undetectable by any senses.
Yeah, I mean you could
Well, have
say
you
that
used
and
a
then
ghost box?
fall back on solipsism.
Well, we gotta be able to account for unicorns at that point through history, ideally, or witness. Ideally, when I hold an apple up to the unicorn, it takes a bite or something.
Right,
You
right.
know,
You'd have to come up with something outside of just pure deduction to arrive at that conclusion, which I think is I'm hoping is the point of the question. Because proving the non-existence of something is generally hard. Even in math, it's hard.
You prove it by accounting for it in another way, by saying, either there's something here or something else.
Right.
Either something here and or nothing, or it can be accounted for in some way.
Yeah, but even that's not exactly watertight, because then eventually, we could come up with another possible mechanism by which that thing would exist. And then we'd have to then shoot that down. It's as we come up with more and more ideas, we'd have to disprove that that's the cause. So it's not like we ever definitively show the non-existence of something, unless we can show that there are no other ways it can happen. But that, of
You
course,
can
depends
show
on
the
our current
existence of something, but
Yeah.
the non-existence would have to be inferred.
Right. That's true, I think.
And some possibilities just aren't worth exploring. If I'm spending more mental energy trying to think of something being possible as opposed to, the energy I could expend in real life to see if it's possible, I'm going to get suspicious.
Right.
It could be possible, but at that point, it would have to be revealed to me because I don't have all day to think about any and every possibility. Nobody does.
Yeah. The issue with proving non-existence is you have to prove, like, that for everything, that like every possible situation that the thing doesn't exist.
Yeah, and you can't do that unless
And
you're
that's-
omniscient. So that's why logically it's impossible to prove non-existence, and that's why, like, the greater point here is that that's how burden of proof works. That's why burden of proof applies to the positive claim, not to the negative claim. So if I was to say Wolverine was fictional, it's impossible for me to prove that. What really, like, if someone had said Wolverine was real, the burden of proof would be on that, and that's how you would logically go about proving that thing, right?
Right, because I mean, to any extent, like what you were doing earlier, right? You could say, well, they just asserted that fact that it was actually like when the creators of the character assert that it's fictional, they're just asserting that. How do you know it's not actually real, right? You could go into this regression of like it being harder and harder to show that it's real, but it always, being a possibility.
And that's why it's so important when positive claims are made for the burden of proof to be substantiated therein. And I feel like that's to get back to the topic of this, that I feel like that's where the globe earthers drop the ball a lot. For the core claims, they make positive claims that aren't actually substantiated with definitive evidence.
Oh, shut up.
Morning, Ed.
Fuck off!
All right, so that the little girl doesn't pitch a fit and cry, can other people make it a point to let her know when she's popping into the mic like mad and overdriving it and driving everybody nuts? Because she always cries that I'm the only one that says anything. So if you guys don't speak up, you're just going to have to deal with it.
Curved, stop assuming my gender.
The little girl needs to learn how to use a microphone.
You motherfuckers need to stop assuming my gender.
Well, by the law of fuck that, if the amount of energy, mental energy, to think about a thing exceeds the amount of energy to make it real, it may be fake, or if it's real, who cares? I guess you could call it the law of epistemological energy, because the easiest thing you can do is think about something. But if you're getting such a migraine headache trying to, think about this thing mentally when you could be doing other stuff, or maybe it's fake at that point, because you think, if I have to expend all this mental energy to do this, then it should be real on some level. Otherwise, it's probably fake.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, to an extent, right?
Just,
there are, like in fields like quantum mechanics, right? It's not feasible really for anybody, like the layperson, to, construct a qubit and say study how it functions under like transformations. But that same amount of effort is minimized a whole bunch when, say, you go up to a university that has, for example, a particle accelerator and can just press a button and see things happen. So for different people, it's, I think, a different threshold of where things become too difficult to prove.
What university has a particle accelerator?
That was just a contrived example. For example, my university has a laser in the basement. They can do fun laser experiments. I don't know if everybody else has a
What university are you at?
Texas.
Dude, I graduated from Texas. Austin, right?
Yep.
And what are you studying?
CS and math.
You need to hit up Kosho for a lift.
Don't do it.
To answer your question, apparently Ohio University has one.
Really?
He's got a new donut.
Particle accelerator.
Interesting.
I have a particle accelerator.
I guess if things go wrong and they blow up Ohio, it's not that important. I'm kidding. Or Roger MC's example actually brings me another example, which is massive render farms. If you're wanting to study physical simulation and trying to see how our current understanding of the universe would behave in a predictive, like hypothetical situation, then you typically need large render farms that can crunch numbers for months on end across thousands of machines to generate physically accurate simulations.
Did you guys get all frozen up with that big chill thing?
Oh, yes, we did. I think some folks had it worse. Our power didn't go out, but neighbors did.
You have water?
We lost it for a little less than a week, but it's back now.
In Texas.
Hook 'em, baby.
Yep.
Texas
Exhibit
got it
A,
hard
not to rely on the government.
and they don't really get weather like that. Fucking lot of their own were
You
flooded.
say you had no water for less than a week? For a little less than a week?
Yeah, there was
no hot
there was
water?
somewhere
No water. Well, we had like the pipes still had water in them, so we had like maybe a few quarts, and we were able to boil it. But
damn,
there was an 150 car pile up on one of the fucking roads up in Texas.
That was in Fort Worth.
Did you supplement at all, like buying it from stores or anything?
yeah, we have a market down the street, and there were also other built like the university itself. I think had water for most of the time.
Why didn't you just get out of your pool?
They didn't cancel classes?
Oh, they did. We had a week and a half off.
Worth it, I guess.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, because we don't have to make it up. It's pretty good.
I mean, human suffering is enough to earn you course hours at the University of Texas.
Oh! Oh, God.
It's too bad they still don't do the moon bounce experiment. You could go do that. Signed up for second year physics.
Joby, you dummy. That's what you get.
Get what?
Have you been to McDonald Observatory, Emerald?
Mm-mm.
You had You had the drop on him when he was climbing up, and you did nothing.